Well, hello, everybody. I say it every week, but I wish you could see the faces backstage when I roll the new deepfakes.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
May have been the best one yet.
What did you think of you as Thor? I thought that. Oh yeah, that was really good too. The on Saturday Night Live skit. But the Thor was perfect. I was like, we got Russell Crowe and we got Max in the shot. So yeah.
That I felt a little appropriated because I don't know how you found me without my clothes on or whatnot.
Oh yeah,
that
your
was
second job as Chris Hemsworth body double. Of course, Max, we all know that.
I
right?
wish.
Yeah.
But oh god, that was and they were. What was great too is that they looked amazing. Like they looked better than Thor 4 CGI.
I agree.
Which maybe that's not too hard to do. But I loved you as Eddie though. That was
dude. I looked like that in high school. I had the jean jacket, I had the ringer shirts, I had the dice. I was playing AD&D, dude. That was me, man. Except not. Well, I can't say it because Purple hasn't seen it yet. Speaking. Oh wait, let me do this, Max. I know we were on your birthday stream together on Sunday. Once again, for those of you who don't know in chat, it was Max Field Von Priestley's birthday. Hail to you again, belated happy birthday. Even though I told you happy birthday on Sunday, but
yes, happy birthday, love.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, it was fun. It was great because I tend not to do much on my birthday. I like to just, I don't want to make a big deal out of it. And yet I did like a birthday stream with some of the guys, and it was way better than going out and doing a big party or a big dinner or something. It was perfect. We got to talk about like fun comic book stuff and talk with the chat. And everyone who's wishing birthday, wishes and whatnot. So it was exactly, exactly what I could ask for, and it was perfect. So thank you guys for making it so excellent, because that's what I, like I said, what I was looking for. I don't need the whole extravaganza, so it was great.
Well, I was honored to be invited, and it was a great conversation, man. I mean, it really was.
Fun. Yeah, it was super fun. I didn't expect us to go any into anything philosophical. But those fun comic book conversations are always a good time.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed. I'm ignoring the one, the only, the very talented and beautiful Purple Valkyrie. How are you doing? What did you like as far as deepfakes tonight?
Oh, those were genius. I love the Van Helsing one because I have a soft spot for that film. Always have done. But the ones with Max were brilliant, and I really love the one that you did for Kyle as well for Zach's. That's fantastic.
It's fun. I started making these on Sunday, and it's a labor of love, and you do a little bit here, a little bit there, but it's so gratifying to have you guys enjoy it, and the chat seems to love it. And I know Daniel was like, Purple Valkyrie with fangs. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
Let her turn me into a vampire. Exactly.
Ooh, yeah, there we go. Punkwaddle says Thor with silkies. That's our MVP. 100%, man. Absolutely. So let's talk about a couple different things. I need to shout out my channel members. The Thad That Shouldn't Be is here. We of course has Rosie Gamgees. We have Daniel. We have the Thad. Okay, let me see. Doviande Say Tovius again. Roman of the Empire. And I don't have his axe tonight, so it's going to be a little sloppy, but that's okay. Jacob Ironside, hail to you, Max Mercer. We have Paul Bustle, who says to me, hail to you in the chat. Well, hail to you, brother, and hail to Jacob Ironside as well. And Doviende Se Tovius again says his birthday was June 25th. His own mom forgot.
Oh, honey.
You must have been a small baby to not remember that event. But
oh, man.
I don't know what else to do with that. But hail to you. It's always great to see you, Doviende Se Tovius again. The one and only Pops, hail to you. It's great to see you as well. And there we go. Daniel, one of my Taveran for $5 says, this is for Thor Van Priestley in Fanged Valkyrie. Well, I'll tell you what, I will put those deepfakes in our channel member Twitter page after the show tonight, and then you guys can have them. But yeah, Purple Valkyrie as a vampire, like, that was cool. That was fun. So
I'm kind of liking for Van Priestley as well. That's a pretty awesome name.
That's a mouthful. If Maxfield von Priestley wasn't a mouthful, you know,
yeah,
Thor von
yeah,
Priestley.
Thank you,
yeah.
Daniel.
I loved
Thank you,
purple
Daniel.
and thank you, Daniel. Yeah, that's excellent, man. I appreciate it. I liked purple as Brave, as the woman from
Yeah.
Brave, because of the hair
Merida.
and everything.
Yes.
And I loved her as Lagertha, because we've had her as Lagertha before,
Yes,
but
that was
this
a new
time
clip.
she's actually like in battle. So
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah. And then, of course, I also did a deepfake of Stranger Things 4. I put a couple in this one simply because I really still do love Stranger Things Season 4. And, of course, I was Eddie, as you had mentioned, Max, but then also had Purple Valkyrie as Max. And it's uncanny how much Max looks like Purple Valkyrie and Purple Valkyrie looks like Max. But there it is.
If I ever need a cosplay, that's a go-to, I think.
It's true. Watch Season 4 before you say that. Watch Season 4, right? Those of you in chat. Hail to Cajun Corey Rourke. Hail to, let's see, I think it's JPRPH1, Jerf1. Hail to you. We've got Anthony Peterson, who's sending belated birthday wishes to Max. And then, of course, the one and only Silverlock that says the fakes are pretty cool. The fakes I make are really great. The fakes that Marvel makes, not so great, if we're honest about it. Well, let's take a look at the first article tonight. This was yet another week where I wasn't quite sure where we were going to go with things, and then the world provided exactly what I needed. And of course, I can't get to the article that I want for some reason. You guys vamp for me while I fight with Chrome, please.
Big thank you to everybody who's here today. We love getting to do these Tuesday shows, and I think it just keeps getting better and better every week, doesn't it? We have a fantastic show. We have a fantastic chat. We have deep fakes.
We do. And we have fan favorite Nick Cage.
Hell yes.
So I put it in the tweet. I didn't put it in the show description because I only found this morning. But everyone's favorite lunatic, Nick Cage, well, he's back. And he's going to be a vodka-loving dragon in a show called High Fire. But it's in the works at Paramount Plus, and it's moved from Amazon. So this is apparently based on a novel. And have you heard about this at all, Purple Valkyrie or Max? Have you guys heard this at all?
I haven't, but you had me at Nick Cage, Dragon, and Vodka.
Yeah. So Nicolas Cage's vodka-loving dragon has a new home. Unfortunately, it could be worse. I guess CW, but really, I mean, where would you rather go, CW or Paramount? But so Deadline indicates that High Fire, the TV series based on Ewan Colfer's adult thriller novel, is now in the works of Paramount Plus. In 2020, the project was revealed to be at Amazon. However, this is described as a true detective meets Pete's Dragon project.
It's got Nick Cage written all over it, hasn't it?
True detective meets Pete's Dragon. Max, you run with this a little bit, dude. My mind is kind of blown.
Yeah, I mean, True Detective is maybe one of the best TV series. The first season is maybe one of the best TV series in television history. But that being said, it's super dark. So I'm kind of agreeing with Roman. Is that like, isn't this his normal life? Like, wouldn't this like weird mixture of having a dark toned True Detective crime series and a drunken dragon mix well with Nick Cage and his choices of acting roles and his career in general? I don't know.
And purchases. If there was such a thing as a dragon, he probably would have been bankrupt buying one of those too, and maybe not bought one of the 27 castles that he owned. I'm going to take a moment and call out. Cajun Corey Rourke says, "Oh, can we cheer on Eric July for hitting the $1 million mark? We will. We will in the show." And there was a late breaking story that I do want to cover regarding some of the backlash to Mr. July's success. And, you know, I'm not friends with him. I shook his hand. I shook his wife's hand. I actually got his wife some water, and then she signed some posters that both Purple Valkyrie and I had, because that was the last signature we needed. Because even at the meetup, Eric July was swamped with people wanting to talk to him, and the only way to get in there was to be nice to his wife, who handed it to him, and he never stopped talking. So that's a true story, guys.
She's an absolute joy to talk to.
Absolutely,
she's a lovely lady.
Absolutely a sweetheart. And we have this from WNDC Tovius again, says, I would love to see Nick Cage in a CW production. Well, you may yet, except it'll be on Paramount. So I'm going to read it for the third time, and let's see if it makes sense. The True Detective... The True Detective meets Pete's Dragon project is being developed for television by Davey Holmes, who was the creator of the Get Shorty TV series. MGM is the studio, and both Davey Holmes and Nick Cage are executive producing alongside Andrew Mittman. I don't know who all these people are at MGM, but this is a genre-bending live action series that is a gritty crime thriller with doses of magical realism. Its central character is played by Nick Cage and is named Highfire, a vodka-drinking, get ready for it, flash dance movie-loving dragon who lives an isolated existence in the bayous of Louisiana. All right, so I don't know. I no matter how many times I read this, it's not going to make any sense, but I'm intrigued. You're a resident Nick Cage lover, Purple. How are you feeling about this? Is this what you were hoping for?
It's what I was hoping for, and it's so much more. I didn't even know it existed, but it's like a Nick Cage fever dream. It's amazing.
It's exactly what it is.
Louise X Sparrow says, if it's Eowyn Colfer, it's probably good. I'll have to see if I can find the book. I know, I'm intrigued by this. I do like a lot of things that are magical realism like that. Go ahead, Purple.
I was going to say, I've never actually heard of this before, but I'm thoroughly intrigued. I'm going to hunt this book down and check it out.
Too.
Now, we have covered Nick Cage's Dracula on here,
yes,
right?
We have.
We've now covered him as a drunken dragon.
Yes.
What else have we covered him as? Reprising the role as Ghost Rider, maybe?
Yes. Also, wait, Purple, The Unbearable Weight of a Talentless Something or whatever that movie's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which was actually a fantastic film. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Yes.
Oh,
nice. We've got a love for Nick Cage on this channel. Mostly, admittedly, comes from me, and I kind of push it in that direction. But still.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Hey, what's up, Canada? How you doing, Kyle?
I'm good. Just got home from a big dinner, and guess what kind of food I had?
French.
Indian.
Canadian.
Oh, you guys.
Dude, I figured you were in Canada. I was like, English?
He's gonna be running the restroom every 5 minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't factor that in at all.
In your honor, I'm going to get to this super chat right away so that you don't make me nutsacks. This is from Ian Soforth. Thank you. It's so great to see you in chat, Ian. Thank you for being here all the time. Thank you for being a channel member. This is for 10 British pounds. And he says, it's like they rolled a dice 3 times and Cage, vodka, and dragon came up. I agree. Zach, you made a joke, and thank you very much, Ian. You made a joke about that where they were just like, there was a machine that would spit out random ideas and they just run with it. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. But this story looks pretty darn cool to me. Now, there are a couple of magical realism movies that have been out there. Some are good, some are not so good. But one that stuck out for me was a movie from the 90s called The Secret of Roan Inish. And it is an absolutely fantastic movie, and with one of the best Irish music soundtracks, obviously. But it's set in the Aran Isles off of the coast of Ireland. But it has those magical realism elements to it. Of course, it doesn't have a vodka swilling Nick Cage dragon in it, but I'm certainly open to this. What do you think about this, Kyle? Is this something that you're interested in? I mean, where are you at with your Nick Cage these days?
If it's got Nick Cage in it, I'll give it a shot. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's more. Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm just catching up here. Are we doing shirts and skins today, Max?
Jeez. Oh, wardrobe police are here.
Yeah.
Here we go.
No, I'm just checking out the shoulders. You look good, Max.
Oh,
There's a
thank you,
reason I've
sir.
got my avatar up, so yes.
Ooh, there you go. Ladies.
Purple and I decided to go skins today, and so
Hold on, I'm going to turn your camera on, Purple. Hold on.
Oh,
our viewership would go up by 10%. But
Tenfold.
100%. But yeah, no, it is hot as hell here in California, which is funny because like hot in
Dude.
California is like
It's wicked out
80,
here,
because like people in California can't do cold and they can't do heat. They just like 70 or 75 and sunny is normal. So anything above that, I got to start wearing the tank top.
hey, I like it.
So
I like it.
It's been hot, but thank you.
It's,
I didn't know if it looked unprofessional or not.
No,
So,
you look
but
great, dude. You can do whatever you want, man.
I
do
also
whatever you
had to
want.
do it in good faith of our man Ripa, as he is always in tank
Yes.
tops.
Mhm.
So I said, you know what? If Ripa can get away with it, I'll do it tonight as well.
Hell yeah, I agree. And to answer your question, Rosie, it is called High Fire. And I will actually post the link to this article in chat. You guys vamp for me a second, and I will put the article in chat so you all can look for it yourself. So
Do we have a release date for this? Does it say in the article?
I'm gonna get there. I was still hung up on the fact that this is a
Yeah.
gritty crime thriller with doses of magical realism, the central character of which is Nick Cage, is as a vodka drinking, flash-ass movie loving dragon who lives an isolated existence in the bayous of Louisiana.
I'm in.
Sold.
Yep. Sign me up.
Does anybody want to know the backstory? Because we
Nope.
have backstory. I bet you this is a hell of a lot more compelling gay Spider-Man, if we're honest about it. But
Yeah.
once upon a time, dragons ruled the earth, and Lord Highfire, Nick Cage,
God.
ruled the
name.
dragons from his eyrie. But this is not once upon a time, this is now. And now all Lord Highfire rules is his shack in Louisiana's Honey Island swamp. Highfire has become plain old Vern, and by day he hides out among the alligators, watches cable television, and drinks obscene amounts of vodka to pass the time. Again, this is Nick Cage's character. So it isn't much of a life, but he's alive to live it. In Vern, Nick Cage is prepared to do whatever it takes, even if it's violent, to preserve his own hide. When Vern's world collides with a human team named Squib, who becomes mixed up in some trouble while running booze for the local mob boss, their mutual struggle for survival becomes entangled in the most unlikely of friendships. This is absolutely insane. Bonkers. That's what this is.
Desperately wish I could have been there when somebody pitched this to Nick Cage.
Really great idea.
I am
Now, do you
really excited about this.
Yeah, do you think someone pitched it to Nick Cage, or do you think Nick Cage came in there and was just like, all right, guys, this is what we got to do?
Yeah.
And then just started like talking about.
I could see Nick Cage go,
Maybe both.
Yeah.
With a vodka bottle in the other hand.
yeah. That's what Nick Cage was doing.
Like,
Don't
calm
tell my
down.
ex-wife I'm
we'll
here.
do the film.
Don't tell my
We'll do
ex-wife
the
I'm
film,
here.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I can't wait for that. Again, it is called High Fire. It will be out on Paramount Plus. God help us. Nick Cage, a vodka swilling dragon who loves the movie Flashdance, and
That's a random movie generator. Exactly that. That's what it is.
I'm okay
my
with all of
God.
this. I'm okay with all of this. I really
too.
am. I mean, but it is Paramount Plus, and God only hope we don't have guest spots from Mikey Spock and people from Halo or whatever it is. This is for $5 from Roman of the Empire. Hail to you, dude. He says, thank you all for lifting my spirits today. Unrelated. Upgraded my gear, in the days of Robo Roman are gone from YouTube. Keep being groovy, even Max. Well, hail to you, Roman. It happens to all of us, man. I mean, you can't be responsible for the bandwidth of your provider, and we all have equipment failures, and we all go through things. It was great to work with you, dude, and that was a hell of a fun show that you had on Thursday night, Kyle. Sorry.
Yeah, YouTube loved it so much they took it down 4 times.
Yes, they did.
God,
So those of you who are not watching Kyle's Thursday show, you miss out, because that was the first time and hopefully the last time in my life I'm on a live stream that gets taken down 4 times. There's no hyperbole here.
No.
4 times we got nuked. Now, it wasn't always clear why. We weren't swearing, we weren't cursing, we weren't misgendering or dead naming or speaking ill of Karl Marx. I think we were just watching some trailer footage for movies from Indian cinema. But what do you think it was, Kyle?
I think it was someone else had brought this up, and it was about them being hypersensitive to other stuff happening, I think, in the world, and so they were just taking down anything that was streaming from anything else. So I was showing YouTube clips, and I think that's probably what it was, because like all I showed was that flare scene from Office Space. So how is that? And that was from yeah. How old is that clip? And it was from someone else's YouTube channel. So why would you take me down if they're allowed to have it up in the first place?
I don't know. Why don't you ask them why they took me down and I have 2 copyright strikes? And yes, they are strikes. I can read English for those of you not here. I'm just going to say that. They are legitimate copyright strikes. I did get notification yesterday that they are proceeding with review of my counterclaim. I believe they have 30 days to respond to me, but of course we all know what happens in 2 days. Yeah. You all get to see the trailer that I already showed you. So, except it'll be in English. So, yeah.
To that point, though, Stephen Ransom in our chat has an excellent theory about what happened to you with that.
Oh, let's bring it up.
That it was a trap. That they leaked that trailer as a trap for people to play it, so they could then strike you, which means until October you can't say anything that they don't like. We'll take you down.
Wow. Yeah. And
very smart. Really horrible, but
we talked about a lot of things behind the scenes, because we're all friends here and we talk and check in on each other. But that's entirely possible. That's also why I started a second channel.
Yeah.
Which I'll be putting out some information about. I'm still going to be here unless they nuke my account, but I may drop another link to another channel which isn't monetized, where we can have conversations without fear of being demonetized, and I can tell you exactly what I think, because that's sometimes very therapeutic. So, right now we're still in a holding pattern. We'll see. I know who ratted me out.
Who was it?
I know who ratted me out. Nope. I know which token affiliated group ratted me out. So, you know what? It is what it is, and that's okay, because we know. That's fine. So, anyway. This is from Daniel for $2. Says Nick Cage Dragon versus Sean Connery Dragon. Oh, wait a minute here. Daniel says he votes for Nick Cage. What do you guys think about that? Let's go around the horn on this one. Let's start with you, Purple Valkyrie. You are my resident expert for all things dragon. You really are? Do you think Sean Connery's dragon or Nick Cage's drunk Nick Cage Louisiana dragon?
I am going to have to go with Sean Connery for the moment, because we haven't seen Nick Cage's dragon, and I do love Dragonheart. So yes, it's a very sad film, but I love it, and it still holds up to this day. But when we do see this new Nick Cage dragon, my mind
is Dragonheart the one with the really spotty CGI. I'm trying to remember.
It's from that era, but
of like the Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out and everything.
Yeah,
I trust Purple's call on that.
I thought it was pretty good, but it had
I liked it too.
Voiced by Sean Connery.
I mean, you can't get better than that.
No, who was the lead actor in that? Was it Dennis Quaid or something like that? Am I crazy?
Yeah,
I think so. Maybe I did see know it's Daniel Thewlis, I think, as well, wasn't it? Whatever his name is, who played the bad guy.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid. Look at that. Yep.
Nice.
But again, no one could see themselves. Didn't have enough diversity and representation, and it's probably bigoted. But
they needed
Daniel. Don't give him ideas, Max.
No,
Jesus Christ.
sorry. Oh,
Yeah, we can't do
mute
that.
myself.
Dude, we got Nick Cage as a drunk dragon in Louisiana right now, and it's going to be True Detective. You know, they're going to do like a trans Charlie's Angels with dragons in it and orcs and stuff. And they're going to be scissoring orcs, and because that's all they know how to do.
The last Jurassic Park film that we just had.
Okay, fair. Yeah. Or the last Thor movie, depending on how you look at Tessa Thompson, you know, scissoring orcs. Yeah, but anyway, thank you very much, Daniel. And let me get to, let's see, what did you want me to take after this? I'm
Here you
a
go.
little behind. Thank
Here
you.
you
Ian So Forth for 10. Thank you, dude. Thank you for 10 British pounds. Says, I imagine the pitch went like this. Producer, Nick, we have an idea for you. Nick, sold. And then shopping
that.
something with a credit card on the table, maybe, allegedly, possibly. Ian, that's hysterical, dude. I would love to be part of this. I can't wait to see this. You know, again, I've said it about 4 or 5 times. What I'm worried about is that this is going to be on Paramount Plus, right? And
Yeah.
when is the last good show to come out on Paramount Plus? And if there is one, you guys tell me. Okay.
Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Okay.
1883, 2. That's as far as I'll go.
Okay.
You know, the weird thing too is those first Marvel movies were produced by Paramount. So
Were they?
before Disney had their greedy little hands on their sausage fingers on those IPs, they were produced by Paramount, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, chat, you guys can fact check me on that, but I remember reading something today that was Paramount. But
I believe it. I believe that. And again, Ian So Forth, thank you. Really, thank you. It's great to see all you guys familiar names. It's been a rough week. I'm not a martyr. I'm not going to dramatize this, but it's been a little challenging. Let's be honest about it. Still don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully this will all go away and all that nonsense. But like I said, I have a second channel with branding, with new titles built. And I will be dropping that probably, and I talked about it on your show, Max, but it is going to be called Salty American Sea. And you can find it now if you want to subscribe. I have a lot of you guys in chat and in this community and then this fellowship expanded fellowship that we're in. You're very loyal and you're very kind to all of us. Purple Valkyrie, Max, Zax, Nerdporial Lifeform, Prophet of the Dragon, Nathan, you know, everybody who's kind of around us, including Snowdub, you know, Flora from Under a Rock, all these people that we all kind of work together. So, you know, they strike me down. They don't know. I will rise even stronger in a different form. We'll just say that. So,
Yes.
Psycho Dwarf 9 for $2 says, check your DMs. Okay to share if you wish. Well, you guys vamp for me. Well, I'll go see what's in my DMs. How's that sound?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Let me
and,
then I'll take this super chat from Roman of the Empire. Well, we're vamping if that's. He says for $2 I want to Max fight Nick Cage. Me too. I would like that.
in a cage match. Yes.
in a cage match, Nick Cage in a cage. Yeah. That would be something else. Roman, I'd like to fight you though. That might be a good fight to know. Yeah, I might actually lose because I don't know if you guys remember. He kicks that one woman in what is it, Wicker Man, square in the jaw. And that was
I thought you were going to say in the penis. I thought you were going to say he kicked that woman in the penis. But,
well, I'm not a biologist, so I'm not really sure who it was, honestly. But
okay, fair.
And my money is on Max.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, thank God. I hope so. His craziness might win out. I'm not sure.
Nope.
I gotta make sure I'm not gonna dox myself. So Psycho Dwarf 9 apparently bought a very expensive model kit, and I want to be supportive of you guys showing me this stuff because I used to do so much of this when I was younger. And here we go. I'm hoping I'm on screen.
Yep.
Yes.
There he is, Psycho Dwarf 9. This is a model kit that cost mucho dinero. And look at this guy working on it. So hail to you. Yeah, that's impressive. I'm not ready to make that kind of financial commitment to a kit yet. I used to build model cars and rocket ships and, you know, all the stuff that kids used to do in the 80s. And, you know, I even did it in the 90s too, especially when TNG was out. I built like the really big Enterprise that came out that you could put lights in and, I love that stuff. And yeah, it's interesting. I haven't checked the poll, but while I'm doing that, Max, were you ever into building models or kits or anything like that?
Oh, absolutely, man. If you
Oh
guys
yeah.
actually look down right now, I've got all my Warhammer figures, and I got
Oh,
my
that's right. I remember
blue
those. Yeah,
here and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've been really getting back into building up an army again. I bought a couple of let's see here, some you can get the Games Workshop like box
Oh,
sets.
Oh
nice.
hell yes,
Um,
dude. Oh my
so
god, dude.
they
Hold
come
on,
with
I'll make you big here. Hold on. There you go.
let's see if my lighting will actually.
Dude, look at all that loot. Oh my god.
Yeah. So these
Ah,
the Games Workshop box sets are like way overpriced, and
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying the Games
Uh-huh.
Workshop is the most moral of companies, but they
Yeah.
are. I mean, they're the best in the game right now. There are some really cool custom pieces that you can find and you can buy on Etsy that people print with 3D printers.
Hmm.
But right now, I mean, Games Workshop is just killing it when it comes to model kits.
mhm.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
normally go for those and spend my whole paycheck and just paint and build
Well,
for.
and I sent this to Max and Purple the other day, but I found this build your own Viking village with all of the
Mhm.
different structures. Like there's an
Yes.
Odin temple, and then there's like a mead hall, and it's like the backlog on these things is like 6 to 10 weeks for delivery, and they are not cheap. And it's like, but they look really good. They're small
Yeah.
though, and it's like I want like a 4-foot Viking fort that can occupy like my living room or something like that, and a live stream from within it. I think that would be really cool. But this is like, I don't know. I'm not scoffing. I just want something substantial. What did you think of those, Purple? Which one did you like? They had the meat hall, the Odin house. It was fantastic.
I love the Odin house. I thought that was really clever because I've never seen that before. I've never seen a house just for the gods, and it even has a little Odin statue inside. It was wonderful.
That's pretty rad.
It really
And
was.
and those are all Lego pieces?
It's an
Or are
off
they
Lego brand. It's like an
okay.
off brand. I think it's 3D printed, or it
Mhm.
comes from China. So what they're doing over
Lego
there, like
adjacent, yes.
Lego adjacent. Yeah,
They're
yeah,
Rego, REGO,
yeah.
Rego pieces.
Wego, Wego my
Yeah.
Lego. Okay, I can't make those jokes anymore. It's not the 90s. Anyway, yeah. So Daniel says I used to play BattleTech in the 90s and had huge armies and terrain that took up an entire dining room table. I
Wow.
remember back in the day in the 80s, I used to go to the comic book shop, and it also was a game shop. So they used to have the little hangers on the hooks of little lead figures, and
Mhm.
legitimate lead, because every kid should just be holding lead all day. But they were lead fit. It's true. And then we had the lead-based paints, and I turned out fine, right?
Yes,
But
you did.
you sat there and painted them, and you did all that by hand with your little brush. And man, I love that stuff. And Max, I remember you did a stream painting those figures, and I just, dude, it's so cool to watch you do that. It's just, I didn't know if they had other
Mhm.
like model ships that were, where you needed to put other things together, like to go with that, or like, because I don't know anything about the universe and that fandom at all. So
I think the cool thing about Lego and probably this third party that you're talking about is like those are great because it comes with the instructions. You can just pull it out of the box and just start building. And those are
Mhm.
great streams because then you can see the progress. You have that
yeah,
top down cam and everything, and it's super
yeah,
fun.
got
The
one of those.
Warhammer oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I just got one of those for that reason. Sorry, go ahead.
Hell yeah. And
Yeah,
so the Warhammer is totally different though in that everything is customizable, and like each figure you can put in a different pose with a different weapon or a different configuration of a head or a shoulder pad, or
yeah,
like, so there's so many different iterations of how you can build them, and then how you're building them as well also depends on like what army you want to get, so what box set you're buying. So there is a lot to it, whereas those Lego pieces are just so great to just buy and start building if you're getting antsy. So but I normally build to other people's build streams, which is cool. It's fun. It's like you're all having like a big LAN party, but for building models.
I was going to show my Amazon page, but I doxed myself, and I'm not that stupid yet. But give it time. But yeah, there's all this stuff that I've been looking at, and just as a spoiler, I mean, like I'm going to check the CHILLSTREAM vote. So I asked, we are starting model kit building streams. What do you want to see? So in the lead is science fiction, fantasy models and kits with 65%, and that's with 40 votes. And then tied for second is Legos and block building kits, followed by a very distant third of movie themed things like pirates, the monster movie type of kits that you can get, and then clay and art only got 5%. That is invaluable, and that's what's called listening to your audience and also doing market research. It's things that Disney doesn't do, CW doesn't do. But I'm not going to change who I am, but what I want to know is what you guys want to see, because I love all those things. I would be interested in building all those things. In addition, I'm also going to be building some classic trucks from the 70s and 80s, like a Ford Bronco.
Oh, cool.
And also what my dad had, one of the old International Harvester, 4x4 things that floors rusted out of them 5 minutes after you bought them off the lot. I want to build some of those things. I want to we could talk about fandom. And Purple Valkyrie, you might be doing that with somebody pretty soon. We're going to do a block building stream. I know Max, you had talked about that, but dude, I want to do it with anybody and everybody who's a creator out here. What are you looking at building?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've picked up some really cool little bits and pieces, and we've actually the first one we're going to be doing is tomorrow. It's going to be on my channel, so it's going to be a nice kind of chill stream, and I won't spoil what Salty's going to be building, but I can tell you guys what I'll be building. It is going to be a Triceratops, because you guys know I love dinosaurs.
Well, that's great.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm going to show you. You guys vamp. It's so big. It's on the dining room. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Oh, right.
So we're really looking forward to this, and I think it's something positive, because that seems to be what people really want at the moment. We can have a nice chat. We're not raging. We're not going after and ranting about things, but we're actually being creative and just hanging out, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see what Max makes and Zach's as well, if you do it.
Yeah,
I can't make a goddamn thing, but Max can paint a mean figurine. I've
Yes,
seen him
he
do
can.
it, and if I could do one thing, it would be Warhammer probably. But the only problem is it's expensive and they hate you. So
it's true.
Those are the downsides, but it's such a cool hobby. They're amazing figures. I'd love to be able to make them and paint them, but yeah, it's pricey to get into for sure. And that's my kid.
Punk Waddle for $2. Our sheriff and our mod says, do you want to build a Gundam? Well, I'm thinking about doing that. The problem is it's not my fandom, but I have seen how amazing people like it's
Brightest
a Gundam.
Day. Yep.
Brightest Day they do amazing work. Now, I don't have all the airbrushes and stuff like that. I'm kind of old school, so I've got the old tester drab military colored enamel stuff and then brushes and stuff. So I'm going to do some of that work, and maybe after I've kind of got my sea legs a little bit back on this thing, I'll do some more complex things. But what's this from Codenomics? He says, Salty Texas Seed needs to have me live on his build stream so I can unnecessarily, incorrectly critique him live. Well, Codenomics, I can't think of a better time. When are you free, dude? Yeah. I might forget that you're in the backstage and just start, but it wouldn't be intentional, dude. So yeah.
It's like having someone in the crowd at like a comedy set. Like you've got a heckler there, and you're just doing your set, and they're just saying like, "Get off the stage," or they say something.
Yeah.
And
that does sound
we're
like
just
Codenomics. That does sound like Codenomics.
I could see him
Codenomics
doing that on a stream.
was so cool to meet at the FNT meetup.
He was, that was really fun.
So I probably built this up too much, but this is something that I was excited about. And I'm actually going to be doing custom detailed painting on the keel, on the decks, as well as on the sails. And this is part of my fandom. And this is actually a pirate ship that has LED ghost lights built in.
What?
To
can
the
you make yourself full
portholes.
screen?
I can, but then I need a third arm instead of just a third leg. There we go. There we are.
There it is.
So Yeah.
Nice, dude.
So it
thing
says it's a
is
puzzle,
incredible.
but it's not. And I've got glue, and you can see the tattered sails, but you can see it has an LED kit in there. Oh, the damn light! You can tell I'm such a professional, but the windows glow. They do, and I'm
That's
really
so
excited
rad.
about this, man. Like, I love
that's very
pirate
cool.
stuff, and it's like
The
I can't
detail
wait
on
for
this thing
that.
is crazy.
It really is.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was waiting on the drab military colored paint so that I can add extra algae and barnacles and things along those lines, and then put it together and glue it, and it'll be behind me with everything else that I have. That's part of the reason I want to do it too, is to like not be in here and not be on here, but be here.
I mean,
that's
the reason why we're going to build streams now, is because
Yep.
everything, all of our other escapist modes have been taken away. So like, if I want to go read comics, I can't escape there. If I want to go watch a movie, can't do that either. So I might as well just go escape to some, painting some figures or building some models. But that pirate ship looks really cool, man. The only thing
it wasn't that expensive either. I mean, I looked at Lego kits and I'm like, $400. Like, when the hell did that happen? I haven't bought Legos since like I think Reagan's first term, and I'm like, what the hell happened here? I mean, seriously.
Poor kids are going like, hey mom, let's get this cool castle, and they're like, $400 for you, kid? No way.
Yeah.
But
I can
think
tell
you build your.
Go ahead, Max. Sorry.
I think you should build your ship in a bottle.
Yes,
but that's not it.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. But I was there, and Batman was pretty well out. The Star Wars was about half gone. Things like the Batmobile were gone, like stuff like that. But you know what they had a lot of was the Buzz Lightyear Lego sets. And they had a lot of the Thor Love and Thunder Lego sets too.
Oh. Did they have any Reva?
They actually did. They had a lot of that crap. They had a lot of that. They had a lot of the Boba Fett. They had a lot of the Reva, whatever the other bullshit is. And I think I actually saw some Doctor Strange Lego sets up there too. Why didn't those fly off the shelves, guys? Really?
It's a mystery.
$80? $80 just for like a baseline kit of Legos. And it's like, they're cool, but come on, man. You know what I mean? Like,
$80 cool. Yeah.
No. I could get a couple of those, and then like a Ford Bronco, and I am going to be building the USS Enterprise, and not the tiny one, but I'm going to be building the original OG one, which is a reissue of the one that came out in the 60s, and I can't wait for it. So Psycho Dwarf 9 says $400. Okay, what have you done to earn it? That's true.
You know what?
Can you imagine? Jesus, $400.
You know what? $400 gets you in Games Workshop money. Gets you one of these guys. That's about
it. I'm almost believing you. That's the thing, dude.
And a lecture.
I mean, okay.
And them telling you that the Space Marines are not the heroes of their own universe, which is such. Wait, can I say bad words yet? Are we an hour into the stream?
Yeah, we're 45 minutes in. You can say fuck all you want. Go ahead.
It's absolute bullshit. Sargon of Akkad has a thesis paper written on Games Workshop and how they are destroying the heroes of their own universe. It is a beautiful. It's like 2 hours long. It's a beautiful interpretation of it. So if you guys are interested in that lore, go check it out, because he breaks it down like no one I've seen before. Because Games Workshop are issuing like statements on their main page saying, just so you know, the Space Marines are not heroes. They are, they are like the patriarchal, the colonizers. These poor aliens just want to take over this world, and the Space Marines have to come in and take it from them. I'm like, oh, you mean the aliens that will torture you with their own bodily acid? Sure, they just want to, So I could talk for hours, so I don't want to take over the stream. But
no. I love when you go off on these rants, because all I'm hearing is it's like, it sounds like the Clintons. That's all I'm hearing. Like with bodily acid. Never mind. I can't talk about it.
Oh boy.
Speaking
That's for the
not-
second channel. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
South
there
the
you go.
American Sea. It's up there now. There's nothing there, but you want to give a sub, go ahead. But yeah, it looks like I'm going to be doing those fantasy models. And like I said, Purple and I, we've got a couple shows planned. If anybody wants to do anything like that, Max, I would love to do stuff with you because I'm going to be painting ship parts because that's not the only sailing vessel that I have. I am very fond of the ocean, and I did used to work for an organization that spent a lot of time on the waves. We'll just say that. And so I love some of the older nautical history stuff. I always have, especially pirates, right? I was either should have been born during World War II or should have been a swashbuckler. Let's be honest about that. Just like Max should have been a Viking. You know what I mean? And Purple should have been a Viking too. And
It's not too late.
that's true.
Yes.
But
Yes.
give it
we
time.
Can still do it, guys.
Yeah, inflation keeps going. We'll all be pirates by December, right? Oh my God, Daniel. He says to MVP, Sargon knows what he is talking about. Warhammer is literally hard coded in the 80s, so they are in complete turmoil right now.
If you read any of the codexes, if you read any of the lore and the books that are written, there are literally books that the title is The Victories of the Space Marines or The Heroes Amongst the Space Marines. The male action hero filled with testosterone and masculinity and toxicity is literally what the Space Marines have had to kind of base themselves off of.
Yeah.
So they are called the heroes of the Imperium, because in a world where everything else, is chaos and corruption and torture and hell, the only prevailing ones that stick out are the ones trying to preserve humankind.
But how dare you not accept your
Naturally.
extinction, Max? That's a big
I know.
move.
That is
It-
I am promoting violence on these other races, and
Yep.
just because of my words, it is what I mean. Yeah.
it sounds like Ultra MAGA, led by King MAGA. That's what that sounds like. It sounds like an alt-right. Oh Jesus! Dog
You are
whistle.
like
Nico
you are
Clark.
so correct. It's not even funny, Salty. Like you can predict everything that is being said right now in that whole world. And you wouldn't even have to try that hard. You could just guess. But
Well,
yeah.
I saw some testimony today. You guys know what I'm talking about with who can give birth, and I was like,
That's exactly. Yep.
like,
Did you see?
look at my
the crazy
face.
eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look at my like, yeah. Anyway,
Oh, here we are.
the one, the only, the madman in Dallas himself, Nico
Wow.
Glock, dude. I might be coming up your way just to hang out with you, dude. I wanna just hang out with you a little bit and do some things because Nico Glock is good people, and
Yes,
he's been
he
a
is.
good friend to a lot of people. Purple, you got some kind words to Nico before I read this super.
Yes. Nico is an absolute sweetheart. Cannot wait to see him again. And yeah, he is incredibly supportive, and he's got really cute cats. He put some pictures up on Twitter, and it was wearing a hat. I was like, oh my god!
And then me being who I am, then
Oh,
deep
no.
fake Joe Biden sniffing his cat because that's what you do when you're salty Texas Sea is you put Joe Biden sniffing everything, but especially Nico's adorable cats. And I only remember one of them's name, and that's Enzo. And I'm not going to misgender your cats because it'd be my third strike on YouTube. But Nico, dude, I'm only half kidding, guys.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a little punchy. It's been a long week already. Nico,
Yeah.
thank you, dude. Really. And yeah, hit me up. You got my number, dude. Let's do some things. Let me read his super chat. Go back to I'm sorry, Max or Zach's.
Okay.
I need the first one. Sorry,
got
I
it.
didn't read it. Thank you, sir. This is from Nico Gluck for $101.
Whew.
Guys, I thank you. I just finally am now over the hump where YouTube is letting me get to stay over 2,500 subscribers.
Mm.
It was about a month and a half to 2 months where they kept taking subs from me.
Mhm.
And I've never seen anything like that before, honestly. You know, Max, you've seen it. We've all seen it like in the 800s or 900s if you're a creator, but something starts to happen when you start to creep up in the higher numbers. They don't want you to get there. And I don't know what the hell that's about. Purple, you're going through the same thing right now.
Yeah, just will not let me get over 2100. I think I'm about 3 off. It gives a couple, then it takes a couple back, and then it just back and forth. Yeah, it just seesaws.
It's nuts. Nico Glock, I'm finally going to read your super chat, dude. Thank you for the one. Thank you, Nico, for $101. Says, biatches, I love you, Purple, and miss you, Salty. Well, I miss you too, dude. We do love you, even though you're a lunatic, and you are, but you're a good lunatic. You're not like creating new genders or something. Thank you very much for that, Nico.
He's not still going.
Ooh,
oh wow!
Okay. Another one.
Nico, thank you. Thanks a lot. It means a lot. Thank you. For $51 says, love you, Max. Love you, Zax. I'll let you guys respond while I take a sip of iced tea.
I love you more, Nico.
I love you as well, Nico, and I'm upset and I'm bummed that we didn't get to spend more time in Dallas. I think I only got to hang out with you a little bit at the convention, but from what I hear, you made quite the exit, the entrance and the exit and the just made the entire trip. One to remember.
Yeah.
So
he was recreating that Nirvana video, swinging off a chandelier. Come as you are.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was perfect. I just wasn't in on it until
later.
Law enforcement showed up. But hey, nobody went to jail. It's all good. Nico, I love you, dude. So hail.
But yeah, thank you for the super chats, Nico. That's super generous, man.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, guys. I love this fandom, and not just because of the super chats, but because look at our chat. Look, this is having fun. We're not rage farming, and I think we've reached the stage of, it's not acceptance, but what it is we just know what's coming, and we're deciding to withdraw our consent to some of these things. And one thing I've noticed, I know. Well, I mean, what else are we going to do? Because they're not going to listen. They're not going to change. They're just going to keep doubling down. And what more prime example of that than the Eternals Part 2, the sequel nobody wanted.
Yes.
What?
Or
the
Captain
original
America
film
4.
that nobody wanted.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm gonna jump to. Oh, go ahead, Max.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Eternals, Captain America 4, Guardians 3.
Yep.
Which for a lot of people, I think Guardians 3 might be the nail in the coffin.
I agree.
Might be because like we're seeing Multiverse of Madness make more than Thor, which was unheard of. I totally thought Thor was going to blow Multiverse out of the water. So we're seeing a decline, but everyone's going to show up to Guardians because Guardians has always been good. 1 and 2 were both very good.
Yeah.
So
we'll
see.
And great soundtracks on vinyl. Especially the first one. I'm still partial to that first one, man.
So good.
God. Nico Glock again for $5 said LOLs. I know, you're cats, right? Just can't help myself. So.
And one more from Nico.
Nico, this is for Max. He says LOL to you too. So we love you, Nico. Seriously,
the dots,
dude.
the silence says more than
dude. Yeah, and again, anybody who will cosplay with a cape and tights, a flamboyantly gay puppet character created by a good friend of all of ours, Snowdub, is okay in my book. And Roman of the Empire says, can't wait for Shang-Chi too. Another Marvel movie I didn't see, guys.
Yes.
I am gonna jump around. You guys go ahead and vamp. I'm gonna pull up what we're gonna go to next.
What else have we got coming? We've got She-Hulk, which I don't think anybody is.
Did you guys? Oh, wait. I had a little thing going on Twitter today with the redhead, because ginger side is a real thing. But you guys talk about that. I'm gonna find this because you gotta see this. It's just like you gotta see what they're doing to She-Hulk. I'll be right back.
Yes, it's a hell of a thing. They're really, really pushing this, and I don't know. You guys saw the trailer, didn't you? And I don't think anybody was really blown away by it. The CGI was pretty terrible, to be honest. But yeah, that's just around the corner. I'm trying to remember what else they've got coming, because they're pretty much, the way they've done it, it's everything is kind of back to back. There is no gap. There's either a film or there's a TV show, and it just bounces from one to the other.
It's relentless.
Oh, dude, that's such a good word for it. It's like an onslaught, and it's like at some point it becomes like so overwhelming. Like Agatha Harkness. Who is going to watch the Agatha Harkness show? Like, no, like Echo. Come on, like they're so. It's such a.
I'd
far
rather
stretch.
watch infomercials from Frankie Valli trying to sell me the greatest hits of the '60s. Like,
well, Frankie
why?
Valli's
You know.
great. I love
Okay,
him.
but he is. But yes, dude. Or the Home Shopping Network trying to get me to buy cubic zirconium tiaras, and I don't even wear tiaras. But
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Speaking of wearing tiaras, are you ready for this one? Here we go.
Boy.
I'm gonna back the chat out.
What is that?
That is not photoshopped. On the left, which is my right, we have the original comic book accurate art, obviously through time, different permutations. It's kind of hot, some of those pictures. And she's really a redhead.
Yes, this is Titania, isn't it, if I'm correct, Max?
Yeah. And then on the right, you have the Old Country Buffet Sizzler shutting down the Sizzler.
No, the body positivity.
Character. Oh, I always forget that's what they call it now, Max. But yeah, there you go.
Doesn't exactly scream super villainous, does it?
No, it screams, "Get me another dozen of Krispy Kreme donuts, mother." That's what all I got,
It's martini time. Yes.
Jeez. I mean, again, I don't mean to upset people that need to lose a few pounds. I need to lose a few pounds. Really, guys, I do. And I'm very much aware of that. But I am not starring in a comic book television show and being tokenized by my physical attributes in a calculated way in order to check off ESG score boxes as part of a shit story that even the own creative team for months have been saying is DOA. Because we've heard these stories over and over and over, just about She-Hulk,
Is overweight and out of shape a checkbox now?
I see.
If you're fat phobic, yes.
Okay.
Or if you're not fat, I don't know.
It's hard to keep track. Really, it
But
is.
even the costume that they've given the poor actress is very lackluster.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
It's like bad. It's like really bad strip club in like the Yukon, I mean, like, and it's like, you're not sure if they're there, you're going to harvest your organs. Not that I've been to places like that. I've just heard stories, but this is what they're going for here. Like, what?
Yes, that top needs tassels to spin.
And she needs some Spanx.
Yeah. It's like a
something.
burlesque thing.
Yes.
I mean, and because what Salty was saying about, hey, we're all like, I've got pounds that I could lose. Everyone, I think, would love to be in the same shape as like movie stars, but that's exactly why they're movie stars. They need to portray exactly who they're playing, whether that's Thor. He sacrifices the time and the effort and the money to hire a trainer, get food, have a dietitian, but he can do that because he needs to look like a physically, present god. And I think that same standard needs to be held across the board for all people, so that we can be immersed in what that is. And I think it was Code who made a good point in the chat. But this woman is not that overweight. It's the costume that looks that is so poorly fit to her. Yeah. Like for me, I prefer a woman who's probably a little bit bigger on that
I like
side
the curves.
of physique. Exactly.
Do you remember that video you showed? What did they call them? The hips.
Yeah.
What the hell was that called?
The soul
suckers.
Or the soul
snatchers. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of the soul. And women don't, like, Tugs didn't believe this. Alasia didn't believe it. Purple, like, she's like, what do you guys don't actually like that? And I'm like, yeah.
Why are you just telling us now? Yes.
I know.
Well, get to yourselves.
Yeah, the joke is because you guys are always looking for the bad boys, as opposed to like But let me get to this $4.99 super chat. Then you guys can keep on for $4.99. Thunder Sensei 150, one of my favorite cosplayers. Hail to you. She says, makes me think of the obese wind princess in the new She-Ra. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot of She-Ra figures still on the shelves, or He-Man figures, I should say. It's funny how that works too.
Funny, yes, they just must
Thank
have
you, Thunder
overordered.
Sensei.
Yes.
Being a guy, it's hard for me to judge. I'm not sure what it. Well, I'm not a biologist, but I don't know what it's like to be a woman. But I can I have weight I'd love to lose, but like Chris Hemsworth in Thor looks amazing, and like I think he looks great. It doesn't make me feel bad about myself because he looks amazing. I'd love to look like that, but I don't feel bad about myself that I don't. So I don't get this whole thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, Chris Hemsworth is compensated for giving up his life and putting all of this work into looking like that. If Chris Hemsworth was, 30 pounds overweight, essentially if he was Fat Thor in real life,
right?
Would Thor 1 have ever gotten a sequel, or would they have recast, and yeah.
No, it's a good point. Even if you look at they were doing the real BBC today, and both X-Ray Girl and I'm blanking on her name, but both of the females that were on the show today, Nina, both said, I don't know what the story was or what happened, but I just wanted to go see Thor, because that's how you get butts in the seats, is you get a lot of females that want to go see Chris Hemsworth. And that's just matter of fact. But if the tables were turned, if I'm going, hey, I hate Blade Trinity, but I guarantee you I'll put that show on to watch Jessica Biel.
Oh yeah.
That's, I can't say that. And she worked like hell. She worked her ass off to look so good in that film. Yeah. Everyone does. Ryan Reynolds, Wesley Snipes, and Jessica. They all look really good.
Yeah. That's a great point though, Max, because you have to respect that the work that goes into that. Yes, they have advantages of being stars and rich or whatever, but that is not easy to look like that and to stay looking like that.
It's not, and then you've got somebody like Natalie Portman who's wearing fake arms to look ripped.
Exactly.
Dude, when you told me the other night about how she was like wore the dress with like all the females that didn't get nominated or whatever, but then she hired a male director. It was I learned today that was kind of interesting. The reason why she didn't come back for Thor 3 or Thor 2 or wasn't involved in the MCU was because her contract said that Patty Jenkins was going to direct Thor 2. And when she was eventually knocked out of that, Natalie dropped out or didn't want to do the MCU anymore. So I'm like, but she came back and a man again directed the next Thor film. So I'm thinking that it must have been money.
It was Taika Waititi. That's stretching it a little bit.
No, I guess I shouldn't say a man. But.
True, Robert Taika Cohen, not Taika Waititi. That's his name, and no one is making any inferences to his ethnicity. It's just someone's playing up a small percentage of his background, maybe. Yeah, the other thing I was going to say is that maybe the reason Natalie Portman didn't, or decided to come back was because she actually watched Wonder Woman 1984 and went, whoa, okay, I'm up with the patriarchy. Give me a check. You know what I mean? Because that movie sucked a lot.
Yeah, that was a terrible film.
Let me get to this. Go ahead, Zach.
What Max was referencing there was she hired Alex Garland to write and direct a movie that she produced called Annihilation. And that same year at the Oscars, she wore a dress with all the female directors who weren't nominated. No self-awareness whatsoever. None.
Yes. Yeah.
But isn't it nice to virtue signal?
Yeah, I guess it must be.
Well,
yeah.
It's just all of us in flyover country that don't live in a multi-million-dollar mansion with personal assistants, dietitians, nannies.
It's wild because like if you were to see that in action, like I feel like if someone were to actually put that visually, it would look like this: me smoking a fat cigarette and going, smoking kills, guys. Don't smoke. You know, like kids don't think about this.
Yeah.
You shouldn't smoke. And like that's the visual representation of Natalie wearing that dress. Like that's how stupid that feels.
Oh, I agree. And it's funny you were talking about the not smoking thing. I had teachers in middle school who would do that. You could smell the nicotine on them across the room, and they'd be teaching health class, and they'd have their pack of cigarettes in their front pockets sticking out, like, don't you start smoking, you know, and the guys, you can tell he's getting a little jumpy because he's waiting for that bell to go smoke one, you know, in the janitor's closet. That's the story. It was the 80s, man. You know, these were simple. You had two effing genders, for Christ's sake. Daniel for $5 says, when she is in the Good Place show, she is actually model thin. She really let herself go, but got cast anyway. Again, people can look however they want. They can. No one is judging her as a person at all. Like at all. Like I said, I need to lose 25 pounds because I packed on that lockdown COVID Bill Gates coat. You know what I mean? And I don't care anymore. Fuck him. And I still got to get rid of it, right? And but in this case, if I was trying to be cast as a superhero and they rejected me, I would absolutely know why, you know? And because I'm not in the gym 7 days a week and I don't eat a macrobiotic high protein diet, and because I'm overweight, and that's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm working on it, but I wouldn't expect to be put in there to represent like Gen X guys over the age of 50 that, you know, have the dad bod thing or whatever the hell it's called to suddenly, you know, be Shazam or Batman. Although, let's be honest, what the hell, Affleck almost came to that point if we're really honest about it. But, you know,
they were doing reshoots and he hadn't seen his personal trainer for a little while, and you're like, ooh,
yeah.
That's it's getting a little tight.
Yeah. He had to call up William Shatner and say, "Can I have your?" Yeah, he had to call up Shatner to get his corsets from back in the day.
Or Ben
Where's
Affleck.
his organs? Well, that's true. Yeah. For $5 this is a very good friend, Squeak a Mouse. I had the honor of being on a live stream on T-Shirt Historian Show. I think it was this past weekend. We had a really great ideological and economic discussion, and that's something I'd like to do on the second channel that I've started, and she posed some really great ideas. And here's the thing, we are not an echo chamber. Squeaka had different ideas than I did. She had different ideas than we all did, and we all had a respectful conversation, you know? And Squeaka, you know I care about you. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're my sister in bourbon. But it's nice because we can have a conversation as adults, and even something as contentious as what the hell is going on in the world, and still be friends and still treat each other with respect, and nobody burned anything down. So, you know, maybe there's something to take away from that. Squeak a Mouse for $5 says, my superheroes are here in this stream. Wow. It's a hell of a thing right there. I don't know if I deserve it, but I will say I work every day to try and deserve that. You know, what do you think about that, Max? You are a resident comic book hero guy. I mean, what when you think of superhero, what are the virtues that you think? Does it mean you have a cape and superpowers and, you know?
It's well, first of all, thank you, Squeaka. That's really, really
Thank
kind
you,
of you. And
Squeaka.
I want to say thank you so much. But yeah, I think the reason why we love superheroes so much is because they resonate with us on a human level, meaning that they have characteristics that we see either in ourselves or that we'd hope to see in ourselves, or that we see in our friends and our family. So like, you know, your dad or your mom, and you see them sacrifice, or you see them have hope, or you see them, you know, physically or mentally strong, and those attributes we also hold in our superheroes. And so you see those in humans and you go, whoa, I want to be like that, or, you know, and so those people become our heroes. So there is that connection. And I think that good writers can bring that out in any type of hero or any type of comic. And kind of like what Zax was saying earlier with Thor, you know, when I'm looking at my old, you know, 80s and 90s books, I'm looking at how huge these guys are. I never go, oh, I'm never going to be like that. You know, like you go, I need to be like, I need to look like that now. I need to go to the gym. I need to start eating well. I need to read more of these things. Like, okay, look at that deltoid. You know what I mean? You're just going nuts for how great these guys look. But I want to ask you guys.
Steroids.
A lot of those.
Yeah.
A lot of
Cares,
those.
though? Like,
No,
yes,
you're
of course
rolling.
he uses
You're
steroids. It's
rolling.
fine.
Keep going. You're rolling. I like where you're
I was
going.
gonna
Keep
say,
going.
like, take more steroids if you
Yes.
need to, but like give me that look that I am like, dude, I'm sold on you being a god.
Yeah.
Or a Superman or whatever.
Yeah.
So but all that being said, I wanted to ask you
Yeah.
guys something. What do you think that is that when we look at someone and we go, I'd love to aspire to be like them or look
Mhm.
like them or whatever it is, hold those characteristics, and yet a certain group of people that tend to bastardize that or like complain and like make excuses and just whine about that, they go, well, that's unrealistic, or it's like it's offensive. What do you think the juxtaposition is between those two characteristics, and like why do we see that? It's a weird, yeah, it's a weird dichotomy, but
It is. I think it
good way to
comes
put it.
down to that people don't want to challenge themselves anymore. They are. It's much easier to make excuses or to be complacent or to bring down what used to be, as you correctly said, something that inspired people to be the best that they could be. You know, if you saw Batman, you wanted to be Batman, or you wanted to get as close to being like Superman as you possibly could. You know, obviously not being able to fly, but physically you could kind of bulk up and you could aspire to be like him as a person. I think he pretty much embodies the ideal that a lot of people kind of strive for. You know, honesty, integrity, loyalty. But people don't seem to want to have that anymore. And I think for women as well, perhaps it's a well, if I can't look like her, why should anybody else have to? How many times have you seen, especially on Twitter, oh, that's unrealistic, and then you have some beautiful woman who has looked after herself and worked out, and you put them side by side with a comic book character, and she's almost got the exact same physique because she has worked hard to attain that.
Yeah.
That's such a good point. It's that like misery loves company type of thing where they go like, well, if I can't look like her, I don't think anyone should either look like her or even try. But then the women who like take the time and to have the diet and train really hard, they're going, what the hell? Am I chopped meat or I'm chopped liver over here? Like I thought I've been doing this all to look like these superheroes, but
where are her organs? Yes.
Oh my god. That was a great, you know, when Anna, I believe, took a picture of the comic cover, but her doing the cosplay, and she's like, you know, like still looks good, and everyone was just like, oh my god, like just totally ripping her apart.
I'm working on it at the moment. I'm trying to you know, lose a little bit of weight. I walked 6.5 kilometers today because I'm trying to try
seriously. Yeah.
But it's not easy, but it is something to strive for. It's, you know, you're not only bettering yourself, you're doing something to make a difference.
I can't follow what Purple said. That was awesome. So
oh, thank you, sweetheart. But, I think you're absolutely right, and you know, you guys on the panel as well, you bring different qualities. Zax is an incredible father. Max is a hero. Salty is incredibly intelligent. You know, you all bring different positive traits, and you guys, as Squeaker correctly said, are all heroes.
Well,
maybe I should start start a salty verse with all of us.
Yes.
Didn't somebody do that? Make a whole hell of a lot of money, and rightfully so. I mean, rightfully so. We'll get into that. We will.
But thank you, Squeaka. That's an amazing
thank you.
compliment.
That's really high praise. Really. And I'm going to answer your question, Max, in a slightly different way, because the way I heard you ask it, and maybe it was me being retarded. Don't say that word. I'm tired of censoring myself. Why did they act that way? And I can tell you what I saw because I was really poor, went to community college, got a scholarship to go to a private university. I went to the one that gave me the most money because, remember the poor part. And it was a lunatic asylum for a lot of people that are not professors of this bullshit you're seeing right now. And I know some of them that are still alive, I'll just say that. and they're not very happy people, which is a broad generalization, but it's also true. But where I'm going with this is that a lot of the people who were proponents of this were from pretty wealthy families, upper middle income, people in Manhattan, people in Boston, people in San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, upper class families that had all kinds of like opportunities I would never have. You know, they had cars, they wanted for nothing, and you could tell they were in that, they weren't rich, but they were just like sub-rich, you know what I mean? And they seem to have a hard on for attacking anybody who might make them feel insecure about their place,
Yeah.
And I saw this, and again, this is going back to the early 90s, but I saw that the most violent, deranged, and zealot purveyors of Marxism, of intersectional feminism, of deconstructing Western civilization, of calling everybody an istinophobe, and also committing violence against men. And I was one of them. We couldn't say anything about it. Even back then, guys. And I'm not a victim, but it's just like, even back then, they were doing the stuff they're doing now. But I really think it was almost like they didn't want anybody to have anything that they couldn't have. And that's all they saw. They didn't see all the opportunity. They didn't see the wealth. They didn't see that they had like a used Volvo that their parents gave them. They didn't see that they didn't have to work 3 jobs like I did to go to college. And again, I'm not playing the world's smallest violin. A lot of people had to do that stuff too. It's called resilience. If you want to get up, if you want to get out, you got to work your ass off, right? And it was just crazy. Again, it was almost like they resented people who were coming in there and telling them, no, you're not going to boss me around. And maybe that's part of this that we're kind of missing with what we're seeing in entertainment and the deconstruction of these things. And I think a lot of us try to come to it from a place of like, let's have an open dialogue. And I've said it before, and we can all disagree on how to approach about this. They don't want a dialogue, I don't think. They just want to destroy us. And they want to destroy what we love. I don't know how you negotiate with them,
Of course. I mean, look, you were talking about that courtroom today, where the woman she's excuse me, the person with the crazy
for Cocoa
eyes.
Puffs.
Yeah.
For Cocoa Puffs. Yeah.
But notice whenever she was questioned, and this happens a lot, and you see this a lot with, this era of people. But the second that they are questioned, this was in the Matt Walsh documentary as well, they immediately go, I don't like your language. It's actually very aggressive to me. And I think it's going to, and they divert. And they never actually answer the question at hand, because they go, well, it's either violence or it's a call to violence or it's offensive. And they stop the conversation right there because it's all emotional. And they think of it as an attack. Whereas Salty, like you said, you have had to go through hardships. You know what an attack looks like, and it's not that.
No.
So yeah, I can totally see what you're saying with that kind of answering of that question, for sure, brother.
It's just my experience, and not everybody had that. And again, if I would have known that crazy batshit place, I would have went to some place that cost more money for me. But you don't know. This was the late 80s, early 90s. You know how I found out I got in? I got a letter in the mail. You know how I applied? I sent a letter with an application I filled out. It took like 2 months. It was different back then, and I'm not saying it's better and it's worse. And it's just, that's how it was, and, but yeah, it talking about that testimony today, and we don't do politics on this show. We will on the other channel, but I don't think it's politics. I think it's economics, guys. It's not politics anymore. It is the same exact. It was like I was back in 1992. It was the same thing. And it's like, we're going to win. We're going to win. Like Eric July says.
$1.1 million says
we're going to win.
Are winning. Yeah.
It's going to get weird. And
it's going to get so much worse before it gets better, but
it's going to get weird. But keep your friends close on this one. It's from Nico Glock for $5 says, yes, Saltyverse, I am in. Yeah, I've got a spare 200 grand laying around to invest in that. No, I don't, but that would be fun, wouldn't it? Little like comic one-shot thing. Somebody reach out to EVS. I'm sure he wants to make some money. But,
I just want to say a couple of things, Salty. First of all, the chat loves Saltyverse. They're all over Saltyverse. And you took you took them on such a ride with what you just said there. That was amazing. And they're into it. And everyone's talking about resilience now. So cool. Well done, sir.
Thank you. I mean, this is what happens when I just don't care what Mama Susan thinks, and I've always kind of been like that. But this stuff again, I mean, imagine like 30 years later, it's like you're Rip Van Winkle, and you wake up and you're hearing the same morons say the same stuff that failed and destroyed like your college you went to. I mean, that's what happened to that college. It went bankrupt for teaching this stuff. Spoiler alert.
Yep.
Maybe that's the same outcome they want. No. Anyway, this is from Nico Glock for $5 says purple is perfect.
Thank you. Thank you,
Very
sweetheart.
kind. Thank you. I am going to move on to the next article, although this has been one hell of a wonderful divergence. What did I not get to, you guys? Let's touch on this one briefly. Not because he doesn't deserve it, but just because everybody is talking about Eric July, and rightfully so. Eric July is a channel that I found a long time ago when I found Nerdrotic and Doomcock and just some guy, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers back in the day. And I liked listening to Eric July's takes because, again, like I said, it's not politics, it's economics. And I think that's what we're starting to realize is politics is the cover story for economics. Now we're all experiencing what that economic reality is, right? But Eric July managed to do something. And he managed to probably, I think, make the greatest 24-hour turnaround on an independently funded comic ever. And he did it without Kickstarter, and he did it without the shitbirds from Indiegogo or any of these companies that, remember, they used to have the political czars that would review your project for political purity. And he built all the infrastructure himself. Now, yesterday morning was a bumpy ride as far as the site went. In Mr. July, young Ripa talked about it, and he was open on it. Some people had problems placing orders, and then they resolved the issues. And I managed to get through because I was on my iPhone, because I was tired of screwing around on a laptop, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to see how it works on iOS, and worked fine on iOS. But I'm supporting this project, not from pity, not because I'm on a bandwagon, but because I believe in this creator, and I believe in the message he's spreading. And I love the fact that he is sticking to very large middle fingers in their face and going, none of us are racist. None of us are misogynist. None of us are any of these labels, to the degree that a man who comes in, or a woman, with a product that people want, who's authentic, who means what he says, and just writes what we believe will be a very good story, and wants to respect the customer, money is going to fall out of the sky.
Yep.
All of which he's earned, too. What do you think, Purple?
Absolutely, yes. This is a gentleman who has worked incredibly hard for a long time to get this going. This didn't just happen overnight. He has persevered with this, and the people have spoken, and we are incredibly proud of what he's achieved and will go on to achieve. This is a benchmark for publishing. It's incredible. And it was wonderful just to see the support on Twitter. People were talking about the totals as it was going up, and people were showing what they've ordered, and it was so good to see.
Sorry about that, I had a cough. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that Eric July knows who I am. I shook his hand twice, and I shook his wife's hand and made him smile and laugh once. And this is the thing. Goes back to the resilience. This is what they don't want you to do. They don't want you as an individual to create your own destiny. They want you to be dependent. They want you to be broken. They want you to keep accepting substandard and worse and less, because that's built back better. But here we are. We got somebody like Eric July dropping what this is. $1 million. It's a hell of a thing. The fascinating part is very shortly after he did that, the hate attacks started. This is an article from Bounding into Comics. It came out this afternoon, and Eric July's launch of his Rippaverse comics was banned by the comic book subreddit, which touts over 2.5 million members. So all of his promotional material was banned. Anybody who posted anything about the Rippaverse was removed from that Reddit community of 2.5 million people. It's permanently banned. The message said this post has been removed from moderators of r/comic books. Moderators remove posts feeds for a variety of reasons, including keeping communities safe, civil, and true to their purpose. Tell me what that means to you, Max, as a connoisseur and collector of comic books. I think you've probably spent a lot more time with Mr. July than I have. So,
can I cut in for a second?
Oh, go ahead, dude. Yeah.
Kaylee, I just want to say you didn't have to do that, and we're all thinking of you, and we're hoping you're doing better.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Kaylee experienced a terrible loss, and we've all tried to offer our condolences, and again, our condolences for that. And also, I'm sorry you are under the weather. Well, I was lucky enough to meet Kayla Dare along with Purple Valkyrie at the Dallas Fan Expo. And we spent we had lunch together. And Purple, I'll let you kind of offer some of your impressions.
Absolutely. It was wonderful just to get to sit down and to get to talk with Kayla Dare and her lovely husband. Really incredible people, and our hearts go out to you at the moment. If there's anything we can do for you, you know we're here. But thinking of you and sending you love, Kaylee.
Yeah. Kaylee, you didn't have to do this. This is for $5. She says, thank you for your support. It means a lot to me. Big group hug, hearts. Well, I can't say it better than Purple Valkyrie did. Yeah. Max, we're gonna give you the big screen for that one and get the man hug on that one. There you go.
I need to just wrap my arms around you.
There you go. So,
Max gives great hugs, by the way.
That's true. He does. He's not so good at paying the bar tab. But he's good at hugs. Yeah. I gotta keep it going, dude. Yeah.
Oh no, I owe you guys way more drinks than I mean, I have to pay for the drinks that I didn't get everyone at Dallas. So but yeah, no, I think a hug is only as good as its receiver as well, because you also have to receive a good hug. So
that's true.
Because if I hug someone that doesn't want to be hugged, that's not a good thing. That doesn't end up in a good hug.
That's called being Jeffrey or Brandon.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Kaylee, thank you very much, and I hope you feel better soon. So they removed Eric July's comic book, independently financed, independently off, not on Kickstarter, not on Indiegogo, because they were keeping communities safe, civil, and true to their purpose. So what is the point of having a comic book community on Reddit if it's to keep out creators of comic books? It gets worse. The message from a moderator then stated, you have been permanently banned from participating in r/comic books. Again, 2.5 million people. You can still view and subscribe to this Reddit, but you won't be able to post or comment. And of course, then they give them the usual Soviet line, There's an interesting statement that this user said, I was curious, why was I banned? And the moderator of this comic book group with 2.5 million people said, you broke the #1 rule as pertaining to supporting comics from hate groups.
Wow.
Somebody take this, because this is bullshit.
It's funny because Eric July doesn't even, I guess, consider this book to be part of like the Comicsgate
Nope.
group.
Nope.
Like Eric solely wants to use the Rippaverse as its own. He doesn't want to be associated with Marvel, with DC, with anything other than Rippaverse. This is his whole. This is his thing, solely his baby. And so I think the reason for them saying, "Oh, this is hate speech" or whatever, is because Ethan Van Sciver from Comicsgate supports Eric, and Eric has been on streams with him. But by no means would this be a Comicsgate like, Indiegogo or Kickstarter backed campaign, because Rippa didn't need Ethan Van Sciver. Rippa didn't need Comicsgate. This is his own thing, like I said. So it's very scary that a comic book community that says comics are for everyone, and that it says it's so welcoming and so, diverse and all this stuff, doesn't allow someone to post something like this, because they are essentially promoting the censoring of speech, regardless of what that speech is. Yeah.
So it's a guilt by association that isn't even really association, and what they are is just a echo chamber, basically.
Exactly. And I mean, I've never been on this Reddit forum, so I don't even know what they're talking about on the comic Reddit forum.
Reddit is dumb. It's dumb.
Yes. Yeah. It is I mean, I don't know. Twitter is cancer, but Reddit is just, it's bad. I'm trying to think of another. Yeah.
I was more concerned about the PayPal stuff.
Oh yeah, and that's what really made me want to support him out of the gate. I know he'd been talking about it for like a year, and he talked about all the steps that he did. But when I saw PayPal, when I saw them trying to deplatform him with PayPal, which I believe is a warning shot to all of us, because they've warned us that's what they're going to do. That's when I was like, all right, I'm 100% in on this guy, because he's a threat. He's a threat to this rotting, fetid, co-opted architecture, which is collapsing from its own incompetence and ideology. And comic books has always been the leading edge of that, just psycho. It's just cannibalism. There's really no other way. Like just utter and complete talentless cannibals. And now we're getting that talentless cannibalism in our films, Marvel Phase 4, and you bet we're going to get it in Phase 5.
Oh, yes.
Let me get to this super chat from Nico Glock for $5. Dude, thank you. He says, I have a spare $200,000. We should talk. What do I have to do for it, dude? I know how this ends.
Oh.
I need all of my internal organs. I haven't always lived a very healthy lifestyle. Let's just say that. No one's going to want my liver, probably. So I don't know what you think you're going to get, but thank you, Nico. This is from Taker610. Hail, it's great to see you. It's great to see all these familiar names and people in chat. For $2 says Natalie has yet to change her name to Port Woman. I know, right? Well, maybe
Right?
she can become Nathan Portwoman, like
Port
Elliot, somebody. The one who's going to be the Flash.
Yeah. Don't
Dude,
dead name
if they
anyone
do
on
that,
the
fuck.
It would be a gigantic memed middle finger to the entire fan base.
You know what? It would surprise me more if they didn't do it, Max. And that's the thing, is
that's
that's all
true.
they can do is they got to keep pressing their foot down on the accelerator. How does this all tie in together? I believe, the stuff that's going on in Reddit, we have seen these same things with people being removed from Reddit communities for expressing different opinions, including Wheel of Time, including The Lord of the Rings, for saying they didn't like the Rings of Power, which is not Tolkien and which is not Lord of the Rings. And now in comic books, the last thing that they want is an organic upheaval that shows that their narrative is complete bullshit. It's a hallmark of Marxists to hide their numbers by using intimidation and silencing critics so that other people think they're alone and isolated.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
It's
Yeah.
funny
And
how
that's
that thing. Go ahead, Max. I want to hear your point.
No, I was just gonna say that's what's so scary, man. I agree with you 100%. It's that censoring of because they're so fearful of other thoughts and other ideas or ideals, they have to censor, and that's frightening because that then there's no conversation. But
Well, the reason why they're censoring is because there's not very many of them.
Mhm.
yeah,
There's a
but
tiny little
Yes.
amount of them.
And
And they
they
use what power they have through the media and through
Yep.
intimidation to make us
Yeah.
think that we're outnumbered. We're
yes.
not. We're not at
And
all.
they talk about the vocal minority in regards to us, but it's actually them who is the vocal minority that screech and scream and
Yeah.
stamp their feet.
Yeah, let's bring it back to that testimony today. I'm not sure if in Congress or the House or wherever the hell it was in DC. What you saw there, that woman, and if you have not seen this video, watch that video because it's the same. What you just saw was the Disney Kenobi marketing plan, succinctly laid out by someone who was in the same room. Literally, what they did is tell you up is down, right is left, 2 + 2 = 5, and you're a bigot and a misogynist, and it's your fault for not going along with my charade, with my charade, or however the hell you say it. Like, you have to play make believe with me, and if you don't play make believe with me, that hurts people. I have to stop talking now, don't I? This is a super chat from Daniel for $50 who says,
Hold on.
go ahead.
Sorry, context.
Okay, wait.
So Daniel wrote this as
Okay.
an ode to Punkwaddle and Squeakamouse. Okay.
Oh, we need somebody get Ian McKellen on the phone to do this in Shakespeare. Or who can we get? Who's a great Shakespearean actor? Kenneth Branagh. Somebody got him on speed dial? Oh, I will bring out my inner thespian, and yes, that is a th, not a la. This is my inner thespian for $50. He says, "I saw upon a midnight stream a flightless bird. It wasn't a dream. He spoke like a man, but waddled like a duck. When a mouse appeared with such an amok, I'm not a mouse. I'm not what I seem. And in the salty verse, I reign supreme." Damn, dude,
beautiful.
Daniel, this is really well done, man. We got to get you and George Molo to write like a Christmas special. I mean, you guys could crush it. I love the cadence of this. This was awesome, Daniel. Thank you so much. That was
dude, that you crushed it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was a theater major until like I said, remember being poor, then studied economics because I don't like being poor. So, Daniel, thank you so much. Really, you guys are making this show so much fun tonight with your comments and with your reactions. And you guys know this past week hasn't been easy. And no, I'm not whining. Just saying, you put your heart and soul into stuff, and disingenuous people come in and can just suddenly take things away from you. Kind of sucks, but you guys are making it awesome tonight. Thank you.
I think there's a possibility we could have a Daniel versus Rosie Gamgee limerick battle. We could do that.
Ooh.
Probably. Yeah.
Do you want to tear a hole in the time-space continuum?
Yes.
Zach's?
I must.
Do you really want to do that?
I do.
There are two ways to do that. You divide by 0, or you have Rosie and Daniel duke it out in poetry.
Or you get Scarlet Witch to thinks that she has babies when she doesn't.
Yeah. You just tell her
Daniel.
You tell her, "Oh, your children died." Well, then, to justify that, I'm gonna kill everybody because my children.
That's right.
died.
Yeah, but I'm the victim. But I'm the victim here.
Yeah.
I'm the victim because I'm crazy in the head. Yeah, Marvel.
I'm just misunderstood, guys. Yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. That was a hell of a good.
Yeah, that was very, very well said.
Really
well done.
All right, so the sub-cesspool sewer that is the political commissars of r/comic books on Reddit says rule number 1: be civil. Racial, sexual, homophobic, or cultural slurs will result in a permanent ban. Once again, we are referring to Eric July In his Rippaverse comic book, do not disparage the differently abled or threaten or incite harm against other users, creators, or industry professionals. Any form of bigotry or support of hate groups, and it is specifically called out, such as Comicsgate, is not permitted. Soviet Union fell in 1989, and these assholes want to bring it back. You know?
It's frustrating because there are so many comics that come out every week. There's a comic book right now that's called I Am Batman, and then there's another one that was like called Batman 89, and a lot of them are referring to the Summer of Love that was mostly peaceful for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But they're held in a Batman universe.
Ooh.
And these cops are just like super corrupt and blah, blah, blah. And so I would consider that those writers are hateful towards a certain military or, servanthood type of organization like cops or like I said, military. So I could consider that hate speech. Like if I really wanted to claim that I was oppressed or whatnot, I could say that. So why is Comicsgate, like mainstream comics are so hateful and bigoted sometimes, especially like we looked at that Miles Morales Thor comic that was racist as hell. And yet that's not considered hate speech, but like Rippa, who's like has, who has this universe where in his mission statement, he literally states, I don't care what your background is. I don't care who you are, what your skin color is. I'm making this story for you, the customer, and I hope that I can gain your dollar. Something like that is hateful. It is so ass backwards, man.
Well, it's hateful to the people who are there for ideological reasons. And let's not forget that woman who I believe her family was associated with a former president and a former secretary of state that was integral to her election that she lost in 2016. Everybody know what I'm talking about? Samad, what the hell is your name? Samad Ahmadine or Ahmadine, whatever the hell it is. And I don't care if I'm not being disrespectful. Yeah, it was Manamana. Do-do-do-do-do. Manamana. Do-do-do-do. Yeah, that's called a joke. And if you think I'm a racist, add it to the list of my many sins. But no one can tell me that her going into comics with absolutely no experience in it was not for the reason of introducing ideology with the predictable results. And I think the reason why they're threatened by this, to me, and again, I don't think it's a tinfoil hat, it's just Occam's razor. They were there to co-opt comic books the same way that Star Wars has been co-opted, the same way that, Star Trek is co-opted. I mean, look at the clown they got running that who says it's a platform. They can't even not tell us what they're doing. They're rubbing it right in our face. So, they're threatened, first of all, by someone who holds libertarian and centrist ideas. And they're especially threatened by somebody who apparently, because of what his race is, that's a double factor. I look at Eric July and I don't go run through his pronouns and his racial whatever. I don't work him through my, third wave feminism, intersectionalist victimhood, triangle. I just see a guy and then I listen to the guy and then I watch his actions. Because it's the actions you want to watch, what people say, but what they do. That's what you watch. And again, I'm not lionizing Eric July. I don't know him. I'm not gonna. I think it's inspirational, and I think this is the culture war. I think this is us winning one a little bit. What I'm afraid of is this is going to get a lot of notice, and I don't want anybody to F with young Rippa at all. Like with his product, with delivery, with his bank account. But that seems to be the only play they have is that sledgehammer Soviet style bullshit where they take away your living. We saw that happen. You guys remember that last couple of years? If you didn't do what you were told, you'd lose your job. You couldn't fly in an airplane. You can't ride on a train. You can't come in the store. Yeah. Guess what I did? I didn't stay on that job. I didn't get on that plane. I didn't get on that train. I didn't go in that store. You know why? Kiss my ass. And I think that's what Eric July has done, only he put his money behind it.
Yep.
It's not all about the money, but that cool $1 million, it's got to feel real good. It's got to feel real good. But yeah, don't worry. You guys on Reddit, you guys can keep changing your pronouns and talking about victimhood and eating cat food and how Spider-Man's gay. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Good night, Silverlock.
Good night,
Bye,
Silverlock.
Silverlock. Thank you.
Sorry, this is for $19.99 from Silverlexus. Have to go now, but I want to say thanks. All of y'all bring so much positive vibes, and that includes the chat. I appreciate all of you. Well, hell yes, Silverlock. That's what I'm talking about. I absolutely agree. I look forward to doing this show. You can ask Purple Valkyrie. I was nervous about doing this show tonight because I really had to work hard today, and I was like, I'm probably going to be a little low energy, and I don't want to disappoint you guys. And then I start talking to Purple, and I start talking to Max, and Max is showing me his tattoo, and no, there's no gay stuff there.
Whoa, you went right to the gay thing.
Flaccid Phoenix not here. Flaccid Phoenix isn't here, so I have to pick up that slack. Okay. Right? And
sure.
As long as I'm having a politically incorrect show by talking like a dude, might as well go the whole way. But I agree, Silverlock. This is real. This is just, it's fun. It's like people hanging out. I wish we could all get in pizza together, have a couple beers, go play Pac-Man, Space Invaders, like the arcade stuff, put some quarters in the jukebox. Shut up, Zax. And
I'm laughing at Rome into the Empire.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at me with go play Frog.
No.
Go play Frog or Boomer. Yeah.
You can't laugh at Roman because he served on a naval ship, and know that Navy is doing stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Pride Month all year round for the Navy. So I'll just say that.
Yeah. And I worked in a career field that was Navy adjacent. We'll just say that. And yeah.
Yep. But I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, dude, that's hysterical. No, I thought he was messing at me for talking about Pac-Man. So yeah, that's the Boomer stuff. And yeah, I'm doing a hair flip because it's 105 degrees in Texas and my air conditioning isn't keeping up. And air conditioning means I've got it turned down to 80 in my house. And that's why it's a little warm in here with lights. Silverlock, thank you. It's great to see everybody here in chat tonight. I really appreciate it. All right. How are you doing, Purple Valkyrie?
Doing
all right. Okay. I just want to be respectful because I know you have a stream tomorrow. Boy, I've got a lot of great articles to pull up, but I want to get to this one. And you guys are going to love this one. Here we go.
Oh, boy. Ooh.
Wow.
So what you will notice. Go ahead, Max. I'm going to let you respond. Yeah.
No.
You respond. Yeah.
You take it, brother. You take it.
No. So what you'll notice, and I'm going to bounce the chat out. We'll bring you back. We now know what Gladriel's nipples look like. I always was waiting for that wet t-shirt contest in Middle Earth. That is Purple Valkyrie's joke. Tell me, has a woman?
Yes.
Yeah. What was that again? Hashtag what?
Hashtag titties for Tolkien. Absolutely.
You heard it here first. That's Purple Valkyrie. How does it make you feel, Purple Valkyrie, to finally see a woman in a white dress, especially Gladriel? Essentially, you can see her entire female form in Tolkien's world.
Yes. Not what I was expecting, but what can you say? This is Amazon. Yeah. Congratulations to the actress. I guess the world now knows what your breasts look like.
I love the female form. I do. I have no problem with nudity. I'm a big fan of female nudity, actually, if you're honest about it. And you are too, Max. Don't pretend you're not. But I'm not so sure about Zach sometimes. But yeah.
Well,
Zach's Flaccid and I kind of have a three-way going, so I don't know either.
Oh, wow. TMI. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Wow. So, I mean, here we are. This is Gladriel. It's not my Gladriel. I don't know whose Gladriel it is. European Lore did a great video on this today where he railed on this thing and didn't hold back. I wanted some time to digest this thing and think if my reactions to this were going to be overblown, but I got to tell you, this doesn't belong in Tolkien's Middle Earth, in my opinion. And this is definitely the book that Tolkien couldn't write, because Tolkien would never write this book. So this is all Payne and McKay, and it's not Middle Earth. It is a show, much like Wheel of Time was, that steals concepts and names. Maybe it'll steal some places, but it's got its own agenda, and it's going to tell a story that is identity theft for ideological reasons.
It absolutely is. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Just from a costume perspective, it seems very bizarre that, well, perhaps she wouldn't be wearing a bra, but perhaps a breast band to hold them in place. It seems very odd that she's just wearing this white dress that you can see everything through once it gets wet.
Why isn't she wearing that heavy plate armor now when she's on a boat? Because if she's so tough and fierce, why doesn't she wear plate armor now in the ocean? Because that would be really gangster. Yeah.
Well, look who's, I mean, even though the picture that we're looking at right now, most people, the first thing that they'll go to is like, wow, we get to see Galadriel's chest or whatever. I'm more in the realm of look who's helping who. Halbrand, 100%. The helpless fucking 100%. Man, dumb, ignorant, can't do anything on his own, who's been shipwrecked, and Galadriel, who's the one who's helping him. It's the same song and dance that we're going to continue to get. But which is weird, because I think Halbrand is Numenorian, from like we've seen the photos, and I believe he's in Numenor. That looks like a Greek, more seafaring culture. So of course he's going to be the dumb idiot who's like, even though he's from Numenor, knows how to ride on these ships as a seafaring man. Yes. And be like, oh, I need your help. Yes. So it's just, it's very exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But it's almost like sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
It's almost like I've seen paintings like this before, and this is like super far out there, but where it's Christ walking on water, saving and I'm not saying they're trying to go with the angelic route,
but you can see it, dude. I thought the same thing. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah.
So they could be going with that like sacred, holy type of imagery. But yeah, man, they're really gonna push this with Galadriel like bad.
It looks like some, I want to say, late Renaissance depiction of angels. I was going to say
Renaissance. Yes, they're definitely pushing that over the top, and just the composition of this shot in particular. Yeah.
I believe there's one of the fallen angel, maybe Gabriel. I could be wrong. But, and I'm not saying that as an homage or appreciation for what they did cinematically. I'm saying that because what are you doing? Like, what are we doing here? We're taking the male angel and we're turning Galadriel into it. And it's like Max said, it's gender identity politics.
Given that the dress is pretty much translucent, I suppose we're lucky she's got that belt around her waist.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'd see if Galadriel needed some landscaping or not.
We've got Wakazashi Tea House is in the chat with us today.
Great! Raise the roof, Gray.
And Six is here. And about that photo, did you guys, when you were in, I don't know, grade 5 or grade 6, take a class that it was called like feeling yes, feeling no?
I don't believe so.
It was like a health class thing for us, like good touch, bad touch, and that's kind of like I like seeing boobs no matter what. Like I can't be disappointed, but like But I know better. I know this is going somewhere I don't like, but I still like to look at it. What am I supposed to do?
Oh no, Morfydd Clark is an attractive woman. There's nothing against the actors and actresses. Morford Clark is a beautiful Welsh woman. You know, all the Welsh women are very attractive. You know, she's a talented actress. I'm sure she took this role back when a lot of people who probably represented the author's original best interest were potentially still on board. Tom Shippey, John Howe, that whole crew. And now she's stuck with this Gilligan's Island storyline over here. And, you know, what are you going to do?
It's interesting because even like, you know, when you watch the Thor Love and Thunder, oh, see you, Roman. Have a great night, brother.
Good night, dude.
Good night, Roman.
When you see the Thor Love and Thunder interviews, like with Natalie Portman, there's one where the interviewer goes, "So would you call this the gayest movie ever?" or something like that.
Yeah.
Your lisp sold that. But that was fucking, that was rock star, dude. Holy
I mean,
shit.
Salty, you had your thespian moment earlier with David's, you know, limerick. So I have to also put on a good show.
It.
But yeah, so he asked Natalie this, and you can tell how uncomfortable she is. She's like, sure, that's the best way that I can put it, you know? And she's just like, yeah, I love that. It's so great. And I wonder if Morford Clark is doing this right now. I wonder if like they just keep pushing this version of Galadriel. And I wonder if she's also going like, sure, this is my Galadriel, but like as an actress, I wonder how she feels as she's like reading the book and being like, where in the fucking world am I reading the wrong thing? You know, like I don't know.
I'd be really curious to see what happens in the upcoming San Diego Comic-Con, and we've talked about this a couple of times. We know there is a big panel coming with pretty much almost all of the cast and the I can't really call them writers behind, but
yeah.
Oh my God, that's gonna be wild. That's so true. Oh.
And look who's sailing the raft.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah. He's literally useless. He's literally just
men are either stupid, men are either stupid or evil. Those of you who found me through Wheel of Time, men are either stupid or evil. Chances are he's both, you know. Hellbrand, made up character with this woman who has a name, Gladriel. She's named after a character in Tolkien's world, but she is not Gladriel.
Right.
What the hell is she actually sailing though? Because the sail's behind him and she's holding on to a different part.
Yeah. I wonder if she's like, look, see, I'm doing something. And he's just watching and he's like, no.
Do you want me to mansplain it for you, Purple Valkyrie? Can I? Because I am the designated representative of the patriarchy. If you're looking for the patriarchy, you've come to the right place. It's right here. But yeah, look at her. Yeah, I can see all of her. And she's a shapely looking lass. She really is. She's a pretty girl. Pretty woman with a Y. Sorry, I can't disempower her by fuck this. But yeah, I mean, I Max, you brought that up about being an actress, but what about being from freaking Wales and, you know, growing up with Tolkien being a national treasure, and, you know, Purple, you're there. Excuse me. And you're not too far from the Tolkien Trail.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure not everyone who is in the Isles in England and Scotland, in Wales, are all diehard Tolkien fans, but you know, Morford Clark seems to be, if I remember correctly, she's been in period pieces, so I'm sure she's familiar with the work, you know?
Yes, I would imagine so, and I would imagine that this was the a really big draw for her to do this, to play this character, because who wouldn't want to play Gladriel? Now, whether this was what she had in mind when she took the role, only she'd be able to tell us, and I doubt we're going to be hearing it anytime soon, but it is curious.
This was sent by Thad.
Thank you, Thad. Unbearable 73, give him a sub. Matt, member of my channel, good dude. We're going to talk Wheel of Time. This is the iconography, Max, that you were referring to. Do you maybe want to explain this, or the parable, or what this is, just for a statement? So let's look at this painting. We'll bring this one back. Oop, that's not the right one. I will go find the right one. I will be right back.
I mean, I definitely see like similarities, and like I said, I don't know. We'll never be able to know if that was their intention of trying to get this type of symbolism in there, just to kind of hint at it. As Galadriel being this angelic, Christ-like figure, but we've seen it with Scott Snyder or Zack Snyder,
Yep.
because
Sure.
Scott Snyder is a comic book writer, and Zack Snyder is I get the two mixed up. But yeah, I mean,
he's not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers. You have to say that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Stop Asian hate.
And yeah, so when he made Superman, he even says like there are moments where he has Superman's arms out, extended as Christ is on the cross. So he is very symbolic in his moments. Even with 300, when Leonidas dies, spoilers, his arms are outstretched like Christ on the cross as he sacrifices himself. So knowing that people do put that symbolism into their films, I wonder if this is what they're trying to do, but instead switch Christ out with this, Galadriel-esque character. I don't know. But the two look very, very similar, more similar than I actually thought it would look like.
Or we could just be reading into this far too much, and it was an excuse to show boobs.
that's what I'm hoping. That is honestly the better outcome.
I'll drink to that.
Well, I will too. And I'm going to take this is one of the best super chats tonight from Taker 610. Speaking of boobs, says can't wait for a female dwarf wet t-shirt contest. We were joking about this before we went live. No kidding. And what I said, and thank you, Taker 610 for $2. And what I said was, dear God, don't let Princess Daisy anywhere near water. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see any of the women that have beards. I don't want to see naked women. No. I don't want to see naked mutant Bugs Bunny foot Harfoots. I don't want to see that. Hail to you, Taker 610. But yeah, so why I brought this article up is because it was the most recent article pertaining to the Rings of Power. We all know how I feel about that. And of course, it is how the Lord of the Rings of Power brought the legendary Sundering Seas to life. So you'll find absolutely nothing about the Rings of Power other than this is their soundstage. And what you will notice if you are an astute observer is this is the same photo shoot that they originally used in the Vanity Fair article from February. So these shots were taken at the exact same time the Vanity Fair shots were. So my guess is this was B-roll or rejected shots that appeared already. So here we are in mid-July, and what are we getting? We're getting more of the same stuff they already gave us.
Of course,
it's insane. It is absolutely insane.
While we're talking about boobs, we've got a member chat from Punkwaddle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Boobs and
it's a
punk
pun.
Okay. I was like, where are we going with this? Okay.
That's a great segue.
It's a member chat.
Okay.
Pun. Yeah. It says Salty does not disappoint and the chat is alive.
It's true. Well, the
6
chat's
months
alive.
member.
Thank you.
Oh,
I can't believe that, man. 6 months.
Nice.
Awesome.
Punkwaddle is always here. Punkwaddle is a really great mod. Another great person, Purple and I and Max got to meet when we were in Dallas. Punkwaddle is a fantastic puppeter as well. Puppeteer, puppet guy, person of puppets, whatever the correct term is. A really nice dude. And just thanks for being in this fellowship. Thanks for being my friend, brother. This is from Unbearable 73, another friend of mine, for $5 says, so for the first year advertising this, they made Morfydd Clark look dirty and grimy. And now for the last 3 weeks, they are sexing her up. It's true. He did point this out on a live stream where it was the trailer that I showed you that I can't show you, where they showed her on a boat with boy, I could probably use my channel if I even describe it. Well, anyway, it looked like Harry Potter. Remember the room with the keys in Sorcerer's Stone? It was on a boat. Bet you it's the same boat is this. Wow, I think I just ruined the entire first season of this thing. These shots, thank you for that, by the way, Unbearable. These are the same shots we got in the Vanity Fair article. These are the same damn images shot, maybe different perspectives that Vanity Fair rejected. Well, Collider will use them. It's the same damn shots we got. You know?
Yes, there's a lot of repurposing and reusing of shots we've noticed.
Yeah. Well, and they, they'll zoom in, they'll zoom out, they'll clip things, they'll add like a half second, or they'll take something, a second before. There's really not a hell of a lot going on. That's like brand spanking new. Now we did get, and hail you, Snowdub, man. I'm sorry, I'm busy over here doing this. Dude, it's great to see you. I had a lot of fun with you. When was that? Friday night, Saturday night, working on the Cotton Connection. If you have not subscribed to Snowdub Live, please do. Stand-up guy. He and I are going to start doing a show on reclaiming masculinity, especially aimed at younger men. And, you can, anybody can watch it, obviously, but just trying to impart some wisdom that has been strangled out. And we don't need any more betas. We just don't. That doesn't mean you need to be Rambo, but dignity, self-respect, what they call the patriarchy couldn't hurt. But here's more shots. This is more crap. The shot isn't even really good. It's grainy. You can tell why Vanity Fair rejected the, they did the best they could, but you can't see Morfydd Clark very well. The shot's partially out of focus. But again, I don't give a shit how they made their magical Gilligan's Island boat ride raft thing. I don't care. I just don't. But that's what this whole article is. And it's just talking about how hard it was. And it's the same nonsense. Oh, look, there's a big underwater camera. Who gives a shit? This isn't Titanic. We're not looking for the Lusitania. I mean, look at this. It's the same shot we just saw. And again, look, Harbrand's useless. He's maybe holding a line so he doesn't fall out, and you got Morfydd Clark trying to hold the mast on. End of story.
She's tied herself to the mast like Joan of Arc. Yes.
Yeah.
All the Christian iconography. There you go.
It's like you're at a restaurant and you're like, hey, so what do you have to offer? Like, what are some of your specials? And they go, oh, well, our chairs are actually really made out of a nice pine, and then blah, blah. And you're like, no, give me the like, what are some of your, specials and blah, blah. Basically, all that being, or what I'm trying to go with this is like Rings of Power. Oh God, not.
I know.
That,
what the
Harley.
hell are you putting that on screen for, Harley Dave? Have another vodka, bro. It'll be okay.
What did he say? Heartfelt.
He said, "Did I join the liminal order?" I'm like, dude, I don't even know. Like, isn't that guy who stuck stuff up his butt for like $3? See, I don't like. No, the answer is no. Yeah, that's what he did, dude.
Excuse me while I go Google something. I'll be right back.
I know. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like Rings of Power is us asking, hey, what are you going to do with the show? And then going like, look at this camera we used. And it's like, no. What's the story? Like,
I know.
Give us the characters. Like, what are you going to do as far as like, how are the character stories going to develop? And they're like, look, this is another screen we used. And you're like, dude, no, we don't want any of that stuff. You're telling us all the wrong shit. So yeah, it's interesting how they're trying to, play the fans.
Here's the craft services cart. Here's where we lined up to eat lunch every day while we made the Rings of Power.
No one cares. Yeah.
Like what? What? Yeah, I mean it's insulting, and I talked to, I don't even know whose show it was on, but I think it might have been yours, Max, where it's like I talked about, why are they doing this, and that I think Hollywood has reached the stage where they're no longer content to talk down to us, but they're actively trying to insult us within films and entertainment now. And I think Thor was, to me, in my opinion, proof of that, where it's literally just such trash and they hate us so much. They're putting it in the movies, how much they hate us by giving us just third tier stuff. But maybe that's unfair.
No. It started with Multiverse of Madness, because you guys remember the scene, and spoilers, I hope That's all right. But the what is it called? The scene of all the Illuminati. The Illuminati scene where we get all of our favorite heroes that we've wanted
Oh yeah,
in this multiverse. You know, we got Mr. Fantastic, we got Black Bolt, we've got,
yeah,
you know, Peggy Carter, and
Yeah.
they kill them in the most horrific and sacrificial ways possible. And you're like, is that what you think of us? Like, is that what you planned on doing? So I think that was our first bit of seeing, whoa, they really do not care or like these
They don't.
characters or us, that the fact that we like them.
See,
And then
I
yeah,
agree.
I'd be inclined to go say it went back even further to Endgame when we had that girl power scene that everybody rolled their eyes at.
yeah, absolutely. Girls get it done, Purple.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Who pushed the battle forward? It was the ladies, apparently. Yeah.
And Salty is right. They are openly spitting on our burgers now. You're right. They're right. They're angry with us because their ESG scores aren't working. They're angry with us because their superiors are yelling at them because this ESG thing was supposed to work. Just like it was supposed to work in the second highest rated, best scored ESG country in the whole world. This is a country that said by 2025, using ESG scores, they were going to be the most prosperous nation on earth. ESG scores are the same things being used in our entertainment, which is why it sucks. Guess which country that is? Sri Lanka. You guys been paying attention to what's going on in Sri Lanka?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Now look at ESG scores, look at your entertainment. This is why it is the way that it is. Not a conspiracy theory. Once you understand it, it's about destabilizing, destroying the value of so that other people can take things. And I think a lot of these people who are in these corporations are going to be really shocked when a transnational corporation buys them up, or a big red country across the Pacific Ocean, much like they decided to reclaim their entire port in Sri Lanka. But this is not a political show, but we will talk about economics. Because remember, again, there's no politics, there's only economics. This is a $5 super chat from Nico Glock. Says, at Punkwaddle, reach out to Nico Glock. He's still waiting for bourbon suggestions. Hail to you, Nico.
Nico's not done.
Nice.
Nico Glock. Snowdub, Nico wants me to tell you to F off, by the way. So apparently we're in middle school, and I don't know if he likes you and he's conflicted, or what it is, but you two should probably work that out. Let me see. I am going to do. I think we've all caught up there. Good. We have. So we've been. Go ahead.
Oh, I say you're caught up. You're good.
Okay. So, Purple, I want to be respectful for you and your time. We've been going about 2 hours, and this is normally when I like to stop. And we didn't get to the 90s science fiction movies, but we will. And what I'm going to propose we do is, Purple, when we do your build stream, and when I do my build stream, whoever wants to build stuff with me, we will cover the top 90s science fiction movies then. Because I think it's a fun topic and things to talk about while we're building. And I cannot wait to build my pirate ship. Can I just tell you? I mean, I'm like a kid.
Yeah, dude.
I'm like, dude, I mean, look at this. It's a freaking pirate ship, dude.
It's so cool.
It is.
No, I mean, like, and it's like the windows glow. It's got LEDs that you put in there. It's like,
drink up, me hearties.
you remember being this excited about stuff? Do you remember being excited about things? How long has it been? Like, I genuinely am excited to do this. This thing is effing cool,
Zach's like, you guys are a bunch of fucking nerds.
No, Salty's so cute when he's excited about something. I love it.
Oh, it's awesome.
You're
Dude,
married.
you should have seen him at...
You should have seen Salty at the convention. It was amazing.
Oh, I bet.
He was like, TIE fighters, that's the Millennium Falcon. And it's like all the different
Maybe.
80s toys and stuff. It
Yeah, it was the toys we couldn't afford, and it was like I
Yes,
always wanted those as a
exactly.
kid, and those stick with you, you know. And that big ass Millennium Falcon that they had back in the day. Oh man, everybody wanted that with the old school like Chewie and Han and man
Hell
and
yeah.
Kenobi with the vinyl cape and the lightsaber that was
3
all
points of
melted before you even
articulation.
took. Yeah, it was melted and bent like a
3
flaccid phoenix
points.
before you even took it out of the plastic. But yeah. Speaking of flaccid, we have this from Daniel for $5.
The chat's getting punchy.
Don't make me took you boys. Don't make me separate you two. This is from
I'll
Nico.
turn this car around.
Who the hell is this from Daniel? I know. It's from Daniel for $5. Says Nico, grow up. Proper F's are for flaccid phoenix. It's true. It's true.
And
Thank
he did
you,
roll
Daniel.
through here earlier tonight. Flaccid did.
He
Hail
did,
to
yes.
Flaccid.
Good to see him.
I've shouted him out a few times, and I'm going to do it again. Flaccid Phoenix went from about 600 subscribers to I think I don't know what he is. He's probably over me by like 100.
2,600-ish.
Yep, that's what I figured. So he's got 2,600 to my 25 and change. And congratulations, he's really taken his reviews and what he's doing with Indian cinema really seriously, and that's fantastic. You know, I'm glad that this is something that you like doing, and I'm glad that there are plenty of people that are showing up to watch your video. So that's outstanding, dude. It's cool because like that's a completely different thing than I would cover. I have respect for Indian cinema. It's just not something that I seek out. There are some great films, there really are, but it's awesome. That's what makes YouTube and this fandom great. So $2 super chat from the one, the only, the pimp master known as Snowdub says Nico puts hats on his cats.
It's
We
true.
all saw that.
Yep.
We all saw that. And if I was a little bit quicker on the draw, I'd pull up the Joe Biden sniffing Snowdub's cats. But it's if I caught up on the supers, you guys, because I'm okay. 1 second. I was hoping I could pull up a cat picture real quick, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well,
you guys,
we're still talking cats, so you're okay.
Oh,
Yep.
Jesus.
Hats on cats.
Hats on cats. It's a $5 super chat from Nico Glock who says, hats on cats. Ah! Now I gotta find it. I've probably oversold it. So when I find it, you guys will be like, oh, that's okay.
I'm so glad I'm not the only person who dresses up their pets.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. All of my Lord of the Rings stuff is back on Twitter.
Holy crap.
Somebody fought it.
Wow.
Do I tempt fate?
That's
Some horrible cats. No, don't tempt fate.
Holy,
No.
no.
Salty, we need you on this platform. We
No,
don't want
no,
to lose you.
No, I told this story, and the reason why that's significant is I was a part of a mass takedown on Twitter. And again, I don't live on Twitter. I need to correct something I said in my my channel is under attack video. I found out this video was available on Twitter, but the video itself was posted, not unlisted on YouTube. The video that I took, and when I watched it at 128 views. So I don't expect fairness and rationality to enter anything. It's just absolutely insane that all of my screen grabs are back for the video that got me copyright struck twice. Including the video?
Wow.
I'm not showing it, but my video is back up.
Well,
interesting.
We're very close to the actual drop, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, this is just tripping me out. It really,
2
really
days.
is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to chase down Joe Biden sniffing Nico's cat. It's been a long week. Yeah, but you guys, if you want to go look at my Twitter profile and scroll down through it. You will notice something. Where I was going with that is 20 or 30 people, including myself, had all of our images taken down from the trailer. And oh wait, there we go. Yeah, there's the cat pictures. But if you look, you can see the still images that got me nuked. And those lead to a video which is still being contested. And we'll see. Somebody needs to click that link and see if anybody can see it, because I'm not doing it on live. I'm not stupid. I'm not taking the bait twice. But Yeah, and Pips from the White Cloaks, hail to you, dude. I will talk Wheel of Time with you very soon, along with Prophet of the Dragon, Mana Manethrin, Zax, OBG70, the whole gang and crew. We'll be talking about season 1, also comparing it to The Great Hunt, what we can expect in season 2, which again, those of you who are Robert Jordan fans, they're going to compress book 2 and book 3 into one season with 8 45-minute episodes.
What is it with them compressing books at the moment?
If you don't like it, Rafe Judkins going to make even more characters gay and trans.
That's right.
You wait.
All
right, what do we got?
I dropped the White Cloaks link in the chat there. If you like Robert Jordan and don't like Rafe Judkins, go check him out.
Yeah, we're not just lunatics howling at the moon. These are people who actually enjoy Robert Jordan, just like we're people who enjoy Tolkien, just like we're people like Max who enjoy comic books and Superman, just like Gray from Wakazashi's Tea House, Purple Valkyrie with her own fandom and with Doctor Doom and comic books and horror movies, and Zax. I don't know, what the hell do you like besides poutine?
Hockey.
Okay, hockey and Wheel of Time. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
$20 from Nico Glock. He says, "We're back, baby." So I think he saw the images that got taken down. That is very good news.
Nice.
So I'm not gonna buy the ring yet, and we're gonna see how this thing plays out. But thank you very much, Nico. Am I all caught up, you guys?
You are.
Okay. Let's go around the horn. We're gonna probably end up around 2.5 hours. Max, you were being incredibly indulgent. I know you still are kind of doing your semi-move thing. So you're going to be starting grad school soon, aren't you? You still got a little bit of time.
Yes, sir. August. I'll start.
Wow.
And so that's why we're hoping to try and get the move into the new apartment closer to the university. We were trying to get that, this whole studio set up and moved into the new apartment in July, so that once school starts in August, I can still be doing this, have everything set up, and doing the program. But
it'll be what it'll be.
Yeah. And this will be the last thing that gets taken down. So for the most part, like, everything around me is packed. But now it's just, leaving this until I need to start taking apart the
Good call, dude. Good call. Yeah, that's a really good call. Just remember, don't pack the toilet paper and don't pack the bathrooms. Pro tip. Done that.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. And you need to eat. You need to eat. Don't pack the crayons. Purple was saying. Right. So,
the crayons. I thought you said No, those are always on like a snack. Like, I always have those ready. Yeah. I still can't believe Nathan sent me that. I was like, I have to eat this now. So,
you do. That was solid gold right there. Oh my God.
Thank you.
You guys, we had a fan. Go ahead, Max. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say,
grad school.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this rig that I've got set up here is actually got the camera attached to it right here. So yeah, this is just a little stand-up rig, and I've got the camera attached up here. You guys can't really see it.
Right on.
But this is going to be for the build streams. So whenever we do the build streams, this is going to be my top-down camera. So, and then this is the light for the actual model building stuff. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, and I think that'll be really fun. So for everyone watching Salty stuff, I think you guys are going to get a new look into like a world of like building and models and stuff. So I'm excited.
It's fun. I loved watching you build your figures, dude. I mean, it just reminded me of
man.
Dude, back in the day with literal lead figures, trying not to break them or die of lead poisoning.
Don't put them in your mouth, for goodness sakes.
Now you tell me. Now you tell me. Yeah. I don't have Dane Bramage. I'm fine. But
Dane Bramage.
Can we have Max read this one?
Yes, Max from Nico Glock. Would you do the honors, sir?
Sure. I'm not gay, but Max is so nice and sexy. I'll pay for his move and tuition.
Oh yeah,
Nico, thank
God,
you.
this
That
is
is
awesome,
very
dude.
kind.
That is awesome.
I hope that I am more so the latter than the former. But yeah, that's very kind.
Oh
Thank
my
you. I wish you could
God.
pay. You know what? You don't actually have to worry about the tuition though, because the Marine Corps is paying for that. So
Oh,
thanks,
roger that.
thanks
Cool.
to
Nice.
them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was just saying, you guys, we've had the best show, and then you guys drop another zinger. I love doing this show with you. Purple, Max, Zax, Kyle. I'm incredibly grateful, and I'm incredibly grateful to everybody in chat. Pips, Peter Venkman, Mr. Tickle Trunk, Snacks in Comics, who does Gator. To get to work
What
with
Gator?
Kyle
Like
Fiction-
flaccid Gator?
Well, no, like Gator the puppet. He does actually
Oh.
separate puppets. Gator, Freddy, Green Slime. I know I sound like a lunatic, but these guys who do this puppet stuff are incredibly talented. And this guy has a day
They are.
job. And it's so much fun to work with these mad, they're truly mad creators. And it's fun to I don't know, to work. I always wanted to be on the Muppet Show. And if Snowdub asks, then he says he needs what they call a fleshy. I get to be on my own version of the Muppet Show. That's what YouTube, for all its ills and its crazy stuff, guys, like, I don't know. It could be pretty cool. Just when you have assholes trying to take your channel down, that's a problem. Nico Glock with another $5 says, LOL Max. From Nico Glock. What do we got here? Did I lose Max? Why do we have Max double? Oh,
no.
I see what happened. We lost you, dude. You froze.
I don't know what
I thought
happened.
that was MVP coming in.
But you're frozen a great pose, but that's okay.
I thought you were just listening. Like, oh my God, this guy. It's like I'm preaching in church. It's like my dad is preaching when I was a kid.
Was I
like,
doing like this or something? Or what
yeah,
was
you were like,
or was I just
you were
intently like?
no, you're just like thoughtful. Like, yes, I'd love to buy a
Oh.
timeshare. Yes, I would love to buy a good used Subaru. Yeah, it was hysterical.
No, say that again, but this time use a gay voice.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
think you were gonna buy a good used Subaru. Maybe my pronouns are cat food and bottoming. Oh, wait, I can't do that.
Tree-
we got to
tree
get out of
self.
here.
Tree
Yeah, my
and
tree
tree
self,
self.
my tree
Yeah.
rabbit deer self. I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna lose my effing channel.
He's doing his best tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Why not? Better a bang than a whimper. All right, let's start with you, Zax. What do you got going on Thursday night? What are we covering? Because we've been talking some really great R-rated comedies. What are we doing again?
Well, we are taking taking a breather from R-rated comedies, and the theme for this week is best friends. And so that's any kind of a buddy movie, book, story, whatever. Buddies can be chicks can be buddies too, but it's the bad boys lethal weapon idea. Anything like that, Batman and Robin, but not the weird kind of Batman and Robin, like Batman and Robin now, where like there's that whole weird stuff. None of that kind of. Well, I guess if Max wants to talk about gay Robin, he can. That's totally cool. But, yeah,
wow.
But that's not in the plans. But yeah, so we're gonna talk some cool best friend media.
That's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's gonna be.
We'll
awesome.
see how many times. We'll see how many times your
Thursday.
streams gets taken down this time. Let's see if we can go for 5 takedowns in one
Let's
show.
go for 5.
Oh,
I
man.
know.
Yeah.
Double.
Yeah.
And so
Go
Nico
ahead.
Glock has a correction. He says, "LOL, Lieutenant Max."
Whoa.
My friend, you may have to donate another 5 because it's actually Captain.
There you go. He's got the train tracks.
Ooh.
Train tracks.
Sorry,
Train
buddy.
tracks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Captain, my Captain.
Yeah. But thank
So-
you, Nico. That's awesome, man. Thanks.
Max Field Von Priestley, what do you got going on next? When is your show kicking over to the Sunday nights? Is that essentially what you did? What is today? Tuesday, 2 nights ago? That's where you're going to be now instead of your usual Mondays, right?
Correct. I forgot to mention it this past Sunday because I was just excited to have you guys on, and I was like, "Yeah,
Birthday.
it's my birthday. I don't care." Yeah. But yeah, from here on out, Max's Man Cave will now be Sunday nights. I know I'm competing with the Geeks and Gamers Mario Kart, but whatever, it is what it is. So we're just going to do that Sunday night, and then I've got a few videos in the works. But I've been building so much that like I've filmed
Dude.
them, I just haven't edited them. So
That's awesome.
at least they're in the vault and I can just edit them when I need to. But building has been so fun as of late, so I'm looking forward to your build stuff, Purple's build stuff. Quarter Black Garrett is having a build stream like as we speak.
Oh,
He's
no
doing
way.
a live
Cool.
Yeah, he's doing a 40k
40
40k sub, because he reached 40k subs. And oh wow.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. Salty. There you go, my friend. That's from me. No, I'm kidding.
It kind of is. Nico Glock
Thank you, Nico. Yeah, that's
says
awesome, man.
Captain Max.
Cheers.
And that was for $50.
What do you say?
You say
No words.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for
thanks,
being a
dude.
good friend. Thank you for being so supportive of this channel. Thank you to all of you, people who are still here, Punk Waddle, Mr. Tickle Trunk, Jacob Ironside, everybody who's here, Daniel. You guys are amazing. I don't have words. Just thank you. Thank you for everything, and thank you, Nico. Really. I was doing something and then that happened. I was talking to you, Max. So you were talking about the build streams, and then you were talking about the show is moving to Sunday night. And did you finish what you were saying? I just want to make sure I didn't cut you off.
Well, you'll probably get cut off one more time by Nico, but I'll just say, thank you for having me on. And and I'm looking forward to more build streams. But that's all I got. I think Nico will take over the show from here on out. Now, is he talking about you, Salty, Purple, or me? I don't know.
I think you. I think he's talking about you.
No, this is your show, though.
Nico Glock. Nico, stop, dude. Nico, you were very, very kind and generous. Thank you. I don't ever take this for granted. They don't teach you how to do this when you start a YouTube channel. But thank you very much for the $50. Says the most badass motherfucker I've ever met in person. Well, I think it could apply to anybody here on this panel, and I would say just about anybody in my chat. Yeah. Because we got a lot of people who are not afraid to say what they think, and are not afraid to speak truth to power, and truth meaning facts, not feelings. So, hail to you, Nico. You are a madman. Thank you. And your cats are adorable. And you post more pictures, I'll have them sniffed by Biden even some more. So, Nico, thank you.
Precisely the reason why I don't post pictures of Gideon.
Nico, you're an executive producer tonight, and I'm just going to do a group. I'm going to do one group Lord of the Rings video, and then we'll go ahead. I'll let you finish shouting out your channel, Max, and then we'll close with Purple, and we'll talk about what's going on with our build streams, and then we'll let Purple go because it's like dark 30 in England. So this one is for everyone who super chatted, everyone who sent well wishes. This is for you all.
You travel light. That is handsome walk.
I want that dagger. Like, I love the curve of that dagger. I love the way that it looks. I really do. Hail, Nico. Hail to everybody who gave super chats. Thank you very, very much. Oh, is there anything else you wanted to shout out before we go, Mr. Von Priestley? Mr. Priestley? All right. We're good to go? All right. The one, the only, the lovely, the talented, the Purple Valkyrie. What do you got going on?
Well, first of all, huge thank you, guys. What an amazing show tonight. I don't think any of us expected this, but what a brilliant conversation we had. And huge thank you to the chat as well. You guys are incredible.
Yeah.
You gave us most of our show. I had, as usual, 4 more big articles I was going to run with, and then you just kind of like, you know what? Don't fight the tide, swim with the tide. And I really loved this conversation tonight. I mean, like, I really had a lot of fun. And I'm not going to speak for everybody on the panel, but I think Max and Kyle and Purple, like, we all dig that because we want to talk to you and with you, not just at you, and that's what's cool about this. So thank you for that, everybody. All right. Purple, when is your next build stream again? You might have told me. I'm exhausted and I'm blown away by now. So it's been a long week and it's only Tuesday. So
It's been a week, guys. It really has. But yes, so we have got the first build stream. It will be tomorrow. I believe it's going to be 12 Central. So we're going to be doing that on my channel. Really looking forward to it. It's gonna kick it off and just have a really kind of laid back, chill stream. Build some fun things, and then kind of take it from there. We've also got, what have we got coming up? I've got Mexican Iron Man joining me on Friday, which
awesome.
I'm really looking forward to. Because we haven't had a chance to talk to him for a while because he's been so busy. And we've also got a chill stream on Saturday evening coming up as well.
We've got Mr. Tickle Trunk coming in with nothing but warm and fuzzy feelings, saying for $5 Canadian. That's right, Salty. Oh, and it popped up. That's right, Salty. You owe your channel to us. Now hand it over. I'll tell you what. When I get that third strike, it's all yours. How about that? But in the meantime, let me see if I can keep bailing out this sinking, torpedoed sneak attack thing, and maybe we can make this baby float for a little while longer. So, hail to you, Nico. Hi, Nico. It's a school night.
Nico.
I think it's past your bedtime, Nico. Nico has a tortoise that he found. This is a true story before we go. It was wounded on the interstate. It had a busted shell. So he took it home and nursed it back to health, and it lives in his backyard. It has its own little swimming pool. And now the turtle comes into the house because the turtle is essentially like another pet. So they rescued it. They feed it things. The cats are cool with it. Nico's a cool guy with a big old heart. So
yes,
Nico, hail to you. So for $15, he says, I love purple so much. Is that right, Nico?
Impressive. That was good.
I know.
Well,
I'm not saying I can yodel, but I can ride a horse. But yeah, go ahead, Purple. Sorry.
It's been a weird night, but thank you. It is absolutely mutual. We love you too, Nico. It's so good to not only get to hang out with you and to get to go to the convention, but to call you a friend. Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah.
And have you not go to jail because we talked the cops out of it. It's very special. Delicious.
As well.
That's going to do it for tonight's show. You guys are awesome. I don't want to go home, but I can't stay here. And you guys cheered me up this week. Thank you for supporting me through this nonsense. I really hope what I just saw on Twitter, where all of my tweets that were taken down with images from the trailer are back up now, not just mine, but I'm assuming we need to check on, I'm going to name them the German Tolkien Society that did the translation of that trailer from Portuguese to English. I wonder if that's up there. If you guys are bored, take a look. That'll tell you everything you need to know. So you guys take it easy. Have a great night. I will be back with Purple Valkyrie tomorrow at 12 Central for an hour, and then back with Zax on Thursday night talking about buddy comedies, buddy shows. And then I will be modding for the one and only Mr. Biceps himself, Maxfield Von Priestley, as well. You all have I got to play the right thing. I'm a professional. You guys have a great rest of your week. Yeah. Good night, everybody, and thank you, everybody, for the super chats and the well wishes. Take care.
Good night, all.
Good night.
As ever, this is Salty Texas C. I am Corey DB. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you've seen and heard, please hit that thumbs up button.
If you haven't subscribed, I'd love to have you on board. That way you know, and we have things like live streams, which we are going to be doing every Tuesday evening. Take care. I hope you're having a great 2022.